Yeah.
It's just,
Okay, in the comment section, if you would, you drop in the comment section, where was I when I got cut off?
You were talking about MGTOW guys and
yeah,
and shit like that.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me try to get my stream going. This shit's fucked up. How many we got in there right now? They're probably all trying to pour in. I think we had about 20 or 30 of them in there.
Yeah, but you just gotta move over to the other stream. Just move over the other.
We'll give them time to show up. Come on in, people.
Room for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, there's only 6 right now. Let me cut my data down. They'll be here in a minute.
I told Pookie yesterday that she was lucky she was a cat and she didn't have to deal with this shit all the time.
Yeah, cats don't have to deal with this shit.
Because I have 3 computers and it's like none of them work worth a shit. But they all have different things wrong with them.
I don't think that's your computer doing that.
Well, no, this computer is actually my newest one.
Yeah, I don't think that's the computer.
But yeah, I'm just saying that it's just computer shit in general, whether it's my computer. This computer over here that I use for editing and stuff, I think today, I've been fucking around with that all day today, trying to figure out what the fuck's wrong with that thing.
Got fucking Gary in there asked me to do the BTK voice. How did this shit happen?
You haven't done that in a long time, actually.
How did I get fucking famous for doing BTK?
Because you're good at it. I mean, he's back there, right? I see him, and I see little H.H. Holmes up there, too.
You have to, first of all, you have to fucking take your lips and you have to go like this.
Yeah, you have to make that face.
You have to make a face. A BTK face. You're like, you know. Well, you know.
I'm surprised BTK didn't even, like, weigh in on the whole Zodiac thing, did he?
Yeah, well, BTK would come in and say some shit like, yeah, he could make a cipher, but he couldn't spell.
That's true.
Yeah, he'd be like that. He'd be like...
Yeah, I remember getting on that because I'm like, I'm totally, absolutely going to judge you if you can't even fucking spell.
You know what he was doing. He just had his little wheels and his rod and all the little symbols, and he was fucking up and he was making mistakes. You can see how he misspelled stuff and he made mistakes, and he didn't even go back and correct them because he didn't even notice. He's not as smart as he pretended that he was. It's easy to fool the cops, that's all it is.
Well, in some ways it is. Cops. I mean, look how long it took them to catch BTK.
Yeah.
And the only reason they caught him is because he just couldn't stand it anymore, and he had to start taunting them again so they found out where he was.
He wasn't an upstanding citizen or anything. But no.
Not like Dennis.
Yeah, but Dennis, well, I was good for the community.
Yeah.
Went to church, raised a family, did what you're supposed to.
Killed people's dogs, made them mow their grass.
Well, that's just me, and gotta enforce regulations. You can't have all these dogs running around. You can't have all these women running around with their skirts and stuff. Just somebody's gotta keep all that in check. And it's gonna happen, and somebody's gonna do something about it one way or the other. So it might as well be me.
That's probably exactly how he was thinking.
Of course. No,
although, like I said, and I think I mentioned this on the Zodiac show, that book that I think Sophie sent it to me, right? About BTK. Mm-hmm. And that dude, just the way his mind works is baffling. I mean, it's not baffling, like you can kind of understand it, but like you reading it, you're just like, oh my god, this dude is like fucking insane.
All right, is Gramthars back in? If Gramthars back in, I'll fucking answer your question, because I ain't gonna sit around here and just
Gary Lennon says, one more question, what do you guys drink? I'm on the beer. This is a screwdriver right here, so it's just vodka and orange juice.
And I got a tequila sunrise with using Sam's Silver tequila, which I told you guys earlier, you can't tell a fucking Sam's Silver from fucking Milagro Silver. It's good. Even comes in a damn fancy bottle. For $20, you get a big old fucking fancy.
Yeah, Gramps is here.
All right, Gramps is here.
So he can get back. You can get back into your MGTOW discussion. Your manly answering.
Manly ass answering.
Oh my god, that's what you should call your channel. Manly answering.
Manly ass answering.
Manly ass answering.
You gotta fucking have emphasis on the manly ass answering and shit. If MGTOW dudes, for some reason, I don't understand why a MGTOW dude want to attract women, because if they're MGTOW, they don't want to attract women, right?
Maybe they get off on telling women to go away. Yeah.
Women have been doing that for centuries.
Yeah,
that's the same thing.
We don't feel bad about it.
They don't
either.
feel bad about it. So, but how you do that is you get jacked. That's how you do it. In my experience, having been fucking in good condition to regular condition and this and that, and then to fucking pretty good condition, being jacked fucking attracts a lot of attention from women. They respect it because it looks like you have discipline. You're in good shape. You look virile, and it doesn't matter how old you are, because it appeals. It's going to appeal to whatever women of the age group that you are. I guess you say. Being jacked is the male equivalent of some chick having big ass implants, like Jenny. Be like that. Like I was saying, fucking going out the biker bar, those bartenders think I'm a stripper. They had to talk them out of that. I said, no, I'm not a stripper. Like,
you should have totally rolled with it. That would have been so funny.
So, no,
you could have made up like a whole persona.
They were like,
how hilarious would that have been?
They're like,
you could have like made up a whole stripper name.
I know.
And a whole, you could have like said you'd like dress up in a fireman's outfit or some shit like that. Like that's kind of like basic, but you could have come up with something like better.
Amy was like, no, you're not. I said, no. She's like, man, what's your OnlyFans? So I don't have OnlyFans. And I says, you got OnlyFans? And she's like, no. And I says, you got OnlyFans? No. So you got OnlyFans, don't you? No.
No.
Yeah, he said, I didn't believe her. She got OnlyFans.
Gary Lennon says, "Can you donate through PayPal?" Yes.
Yes, you can.
I don't. Should I put my email address in the chat? I don't think anyone's gonna like harass me or anything. Yeah, my PayPal. I'm gonna put my PayPal right here. What my PayPal account is, and if you want to give me some money through PayPal, well, shit, that would be really awesome. That's it right there. But yeah, so I do Cash App too, but I don't even remember like what my name is on that, because I only have that for. I only got that because I had one client that couldn't use PayPal for whatever reason and had to use Cash App. But yeah, so I put it in there.
Graham jumps in and says, some manly dudes act like they hate women as a way to attract women. They might have some dudes like that, but that's not a good strategy.
No.
Not at all.
Unless you want to attract some chicks that are like really
weird,
that are really self-hating or something.
Well, you'd end up attracting some chicks that are kind of like fucking Sonya or something. You know what I mean? Who are fucking like attracted to abusive relationships. They do.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, so you're gonna attract women with issues,
right? With
self-esteem issues or some kind of like you're gonna attract some people like that.
Women tend to be attracted to guys who fucking have their own thing going on, and they have their own interests, and they're pursuing them, and they're real competent in what they're doing, and they're not. These dudes are not bending over backwards chasing women because they're not desperate. They like guys who have a project.
Well, I mean, nobody likes desperate people.
No, because that comes off looking like desperate.
Yeah, nobody likes people being desperate or super needy or anything like that. Everybody likes people who are like kind of confident, or like you said, they have their own thing going on. They don't need you to like, oh, please meet all my needs type of thing, because nobody wants that kind of situation.
At that fucking biker bar that I fucking posted, you got girls that fucking work there, and they're all in their 40s. They'll see dudes and they know a desperate sucker, and they'll fucking try to get tips and fucking and they know a chump when they see him.
Well, yeah.
And they don't fucking really respect those dudes per se. It's just they'll entertain them for some cash, and they're like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here." It's like a rube. It's like something you'd see out of a carnival.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
Well, and
you don't play into that shit.
And I mean, that happens a lot. You get that a lot because we've known women that were strippers and things like that, and it's the same kind of thing. It's like they can see a dude like that coming a mile away and know you're going to get a bunch of money out of them.
Right. And the reason why they see it coming, I see it coming. The dudes are approaching the woman, and they're not looking at her like she's a person. They're looking at her like she's like another species or a product or something. They're not trying to be friendly and make any kind of personal contact. with her or anything. It's not personal. It's you can just see it. There's just a certain.
Well, that's
vibe.
what I mean, and I kind of feel like that's the issue with like the way a lot of dudes like that approach women, and women can tell. It's like you're approaching them like, oh well, if I buy her enough drinks, or if I buy her things or something like that, then she'll, if I put in money, sex will come out.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not about her. It's just about she's attractive to me, so therefore, you know what I mean. You're not interested in her as a person.
No.
You know what I mean.
And what's funny is that you look at the dudes, and even as a guy, I see it fucking coming a mile away. They're not macho. They're very beta. They're not alpha at all. They're beta. They're beta dudes. They don't know any women. They don't even have any female friends.
And that's kind of always a red flag.
Yeah.
It's like it's always going to be kind of like that's kind of how you know a good dude is if they have female friends that they're not interested in banging, or they don't, or they just like that person as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like they're not just friends with them because they think they're hot and maybe I'll get to bang her someday.
Yeah.
Because see, that's the thing, and honestly, it kind of works both ways. You don't want to befriend anybody or anything like that with ulterior motives like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's the fucking beta clinger on, I'm a nice guy. But you can see right through it and go, no, you just want the ass. That's another thing. They got dudes who are those betas, but they don't want to appear as that beta, so they try to be sensitive and this clingy. But no, you're a fucking vampire. Basically, what those dudes are is they're like the remore that's swimming up next to the shark's mouth. That's what it is. That's what those dudes are. There's lots of those.
Yeah.
There's little remore fish.
And it really, even though
and that woman sees through that too.
It manifests in a different way.
Yeah.
But it's, in practice, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
This is a dude that is not seeing you as a person.
Right.
They are just seeing you as
a source.
As a source of pussy. That's basically
which they don't get.
Right. And that's the reason they don't get it. Because they don't, you know what I mean? So that's why I think it's good. Like sometimes when I used to talk to guys before and they'd be like, oh, I don't really know where to meet women or something like that. I'm like, why don't you not worry about the end goal? It's like, why don't you go out and do stuff you like that's like interesting to you? And in the course of doing that, you might actually meet someone that's into the same shit as you.
Yeah.
And maybe that will work out better in your favor. Yeah. Rather than just like going somewhere and trying to pick up chicks that don't have anything in common with you.
And when you look at the chick picker-uppers, women all seem to be vying for that same top 10% of the men constantly. But the problem is that all 100% of the men are vying for the fucking top 10% of the women. So they don't understand why they're not getting that. It's like, dude, you're middle echelon. Or maybe the lower end of middle echelon. How are you going to stack up and get this top 10% of the women? That's all you're gunning for. You'll never get that. Never. Those top 10% of those top 10% of the women are going for guys. There's something about them. Either they have a whole bunch of money, or they look fucking fantastic, or they're fucking cute, and a mixture of all that. And it has to do with what age group you're talking about. It's a system. It's definitely a system. You can predict it. But they won't lower their sights to something realistic, see? That's the thing that fucking blows my mind. Well, as we have friends that are like this. I'm not talking about people as if it's alien. We got friends. I'm not going to name any names. Who maybe they were a fucking 7 or an 8 back in the day, but dude is now a 5. Okay? And he's still running after these set 8s and 9s on these females. And they're fucking 15 years younger than him. And that's just, he's not in that game anymore. But they just can't. They can't adjust to reality.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like an offshoot of just seeing a woman as an object, essentially, or like as a piece of ash. You're not seeing
no real personal relationship.
Right? Yeah, there's like, well, they look good, so therefore I'm going after that. Yeah. Right? So they don't really care if they have anything else in common with them. It's just I don't know. It's stupid.
But don't believe what your mom told you. You're not pretty. All right. The world is not round and nothing's flat. Nothing is fair. The world is fucking flat. They're judging you by appearance first. That's just the way it is. 90% of the people are like that. And if you don't look good, you're just not going to get any action. You just have to look as good as you can. And it's going to take work. If it doesn't take work, then that means you're not going to get that top 10, 20%. It's just that's not how the game works. You're going to have to go back with somebody who looks like you. And that may not be acceptable to you. Because these same dudes that I'm telling you that are going, well, I wouldn't go out with her. And I'm fucking looking at her and I'm looking at her and goes, yeah, but she's kind of better looking than you are. You wouldn't go out with her? She's fucking better looking than you. Okay.
Well, as I said, it's like, everybody doesn't have to look like a supermodel, but you at least have to look like...
You have to look like the person you're going after.
Well, and you have to look like you made an effort. You can't look like you just, like, rolled out of bed with, like, crusty-ass underwear on or some shit like that. Yeah. And, like, going out with stains down your front, like, T-shirt and stuff, and then you're, like, expecting to score with some hot chick.
It has to be within your league.
Yeah.
It has to be within your league, And I know guys that will not go out with women that are in their league, so therefore they don't get anything.
DJ Maniac says it's Incel Friday.
Incel Friday.
I feel like we have this conversation every week. We probably do.
Incel Friday.
Zach says, so what I meant to take away from this lecture is Tom is a flat earther.
Yes, the earth is flat. Everything that told you that sounds right and real nice is a lie. It's actually, the truth is that the earth is flat.
Not literally.
The earth is flat, and that fucking everything that's wrong and bad, that's actually what it is. That's reality.
Well, I don't know.
It's not. We don't live in an idealistic world.
Well, no, but we don't live in a hellscape either.
No,
well, dependent on.
It's not a hellscape. It's just reality. And reality is that people are selfish, and people are damn superficial, and people are about moving ahead, and you do that by being an evil hairless monkey, going out with people that do something for you, and that it works out, and at least it's a mutual thing. That's another thing. That's not so much of an evil hairless monkey thing. When I talk about the evil hairless monkeys, at a minimum there must be reciprocation. You give something, you get something back. Reciprocation. That's very simian, very monkey-like. There is no one way. Like, piss-stained, broke-ass bums do not get hot women. They just don't. It's not going to be in the...
Ooh, that's a controversial statement.
Yeah. In the fucking, the tenderness of some woman's heart. Oh, I'm going to fucking blow this motherfucker all day. No, you're not. No, you're not. That's a fucking bum. He hasn't changed his underwear in weeks. Fucking pissing down his legs and drinking isopropyl alcohol from fucking Perry drugstore. It's just... Stop it. Stop it.
Drinking some Sterno.
Drinking Sterno. You're not going to fucking suck that dude's dick.
Mike Bird says, challenge accepted, Tom.
Go ahead, suck it, dude.
I feel like that would be something they would do on Jackass.
Yeah. Suck that bum's dick.
Did they do that? I kind of feel like they did something like that on Jackass.
Fucking what's his name? Drank all that damn bull sperm.
See, I couldn't watch that.
Yeah, he drank that and threw it right up. And
yeah.
He goes, how do you feel? He goes, man, I feel fucking really dirty. And he goes, what would your dad say? He was like, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what those
what
dudes...
would your dad
I
say?
wonder if those dudes' parents, actually, did they watch that show? Isn't that funny?
Yeah, they look at all that shit and just fucking laugh. Yeah.
David June says, Tom, I drink cough syrup and get all the homeless bitches.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to see that. Look at Pokey. Pokey, what you doing? You falling asleep on you?
What is she doing? Is she back?
She's on her back. Rolling on her back, going, come down here and pat me.
Oh my god, she's so funny. Every now and then, I turn around and she's just, laying in the middle of the floor, laying on her back with her little belly sticking out. She's so weird.
Yeah.
Zach says, I know. Okay, by the way, I watched Clute again last night. When are you guys going to cover it? We are, I swear. I'll try to do it this week. I want to do... Well, we're going to do Identity because Rob sent us that. And I want to go see Nightmare Alley.
Yeah.
But then maybe we can do Clute as well. Yeah, Pookie's laying back there. I wish I could pick the camera up and show, because she's just laying back there going what? I was trying to get her because she's got those little scrunchy balls, and I was trying to get because sometimes she'll have one in one paw when she's laying on her back, and hold it like that. And I was trying to get her to hold two of them that were the same color so they'd look like pom poms, but she didn't know what I was trying to do.
Now, Graham said there was a guy Tom and I went to high school with named Roger D. who treated women like dirt, and they always came back for more. I'm trying to think of who that was. Roger D. Trying to remember that.
I don't know.
Roger D.
I wasn't there.
If you remind me of the last name, fucking, I'll remember who it was. Is that dark-haired dude? He had real fair skin and fucking was on steroids back in fucking high school. Motherfucker got huge. I think that's the same dude you're talking about. What was his name? Roger and he was going out with them fine-ass kind of fucking cheerleader types. I think that's who you're talking about. It was one of Dave Viola's friends. I think that's what he's talking about.
It's hard to extrapolate, though, like, with teenagers, because I kind of feel like, I don't know. I knew, like, a lot of teenage, like, when I was a teenager, like, a lot of the teenage girls that just, like, went out with these horrible, horrible dudes. And then, like, you know, years later, they were just like, what the fuck was I even thinking? I was so fucking stupid back then.
Yeah, that was the one. Dixon was the last name. Okay, yeah. I vaguely remember that guy.
Zach said the double take I did when you said your cat had little scrunchy balls.
Yeah. She's a female.
Pookie doesn't have balls. Yeah. She's a little girl. But, no, she's got a little paper toys.
Those little paper balls that you throw.
That go... Yeah. And then when you pick them up, because I pick up one in each hand, and I'm like... And she turns around like... Oh. Yeah. And then, like, you throw them, and she kind of, like... She likes to wave them around.
Okay, grab this fucking bringing it back. Old Pat. We used to call him Matrick. What's up, Matrick? His dad... Patrick... Get the fuck out of here, Patrick. One time when he came in, his dad was so fucked up. His dad was fucking drunk on the fucking ground. Fucking drunk, drinking Canadian Mist. And his wife was leaving him. That was Pat's mom. And fucking her name was Patty. And he was, and fucking, he got up off the fucking ground. And me and Steve and Pat were there. And he's like, Patrick, where the hell's your mother? And he's like, get down, Dad. Lay back down on the couch. He's like, fuck this shit. Patrick. And he goes, Patty, where are you bitch? You slut. You fucking whore. Called her a whore and she wasn't in there. Well, actually, she was. She goes, fuck you, Pat. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean.
She goes, what was it? Fuck you, Collie. That's what his name was. He was from Estonia. They were Estonians. And he's like, fucking, fuck you, Collie. She wasn't from an Estonia, but he was. That was fucking wild, man. You're bringing back memories of this shit, dude. And then fucking Patrick was fucking screwing this girl, and I think her name was Patty. It was the fucking principal's daughter. Remember her? She was fine as hell. Fine as hell. And, boy, he didn't deserve that one. I think her name was Patty. Right? You can correct me if I want. Anyway, she was fucking fine. And, he fucked that up. She got mad, so she fucked Steve to get even with her. That was the shit. My mind was blown at that time. It was like, I walked into Steve's house and fucking knocked on the door in his room. I was, come on, man, open the fucking door. Hold on, I got somebody in here, man. Hold on, man, I got guests, man. I got guests. So you got guests? He's in his mom's house, you know. This is back when we were in high school. So what do you mean you got guests? Said, come on, man, open the fucking door. Hold on a minute. I'll be out in a minute. And I'm going, oh, he's got a woman in there.
Duh.
Yeah, because it takes what? So I waited 10 minutes. I'm out there smoking. Justin running around and shit. And the fucking door opens up. And she comes walking out. And sauntering out. Fucking, you know. The fucking swishing and shit. And I was just, my mind was blown. I was like, man. I was like, that was Patrick's girlfriend. And then fucking I look at Steve. And we were locking eyes. And I'm like, you dog, you. And he's fucking give me the wink eye. Like, yeah. And fucking she walked off. And I had to go get the whole skinny. And she's like, yeah, she just broke up with Patrick. And I says, so you hit? We didn't use those words back then. We didn't have that. So you fucked it? And he's like, oh, of course.
But of course.
Of course. And I was like, she's getting even. And she's like, yeah. She got you. Those are the days, man. It was a big deal back then. To see it today, you'd be like, yeah, whatever. But you fucked his girlfriend? No. She was cute.
Gary Lennon says, come on, Tom, need to see the wig. It's on my PayPal donation.
Okay, all right.
Which one? Did you have, like, one particular one in mind?
I'm going to go straight fucking Glenn Danzig.
David June asked, Jenny, if you covered The Man from Torrid. I haven't. That's another one I haven't done. I don't think I've done that one. That's another one that I've been wanting to do, but I haven't got around to it. So I'm writing all this down. I mean, the show we're doing next week, we're going to have to do, that'll be the Christmas special, because next week's fucking Christmas, man. Already. It's kind of crooked.
We'll fix it.
I'll fix it. No wig and BTK voice. He has to do BTK.
Well, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing looking like Glenn Danzig or the dude from Death Clock or whatever, and then but talking like BTK. You're fucking. What are you doing, man?
I can't see it.
You're pulling the thing way in the wrong direction. There you go.
I feel it now.
He's like pulling the part way over here.
I feel it now.
Oh my god.
Hey, hey, heart of the devil.
I feel like you need a.
What's that?
I feel like you need a beard.
Yeah.
Like a pointy beard.
Kind
Kind of like a little. Yeah, like a long devilly beard.
Oh, look.
Thank you, Zach.
Money. Thank you, Zach.
A show on autism would be fascinating if you ask me. Yeah, actually, that would probably be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the wigs are on, so he says, yeah.
Oh, fuck it. He gave me the name Leapley. That's right, man. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's a musclehead, friend of Viola. Yep. Yep. I remember you talking about. That was back in the fucking high school days.
He needs the BTK mustache, says Gary.
Yeah. This shit's fucking so hot. You just start burning up.
He's worn the wig for less than 5 minutes.
It's always hot. No, I just know it's a hot wig. I'm not hot right now, but it takes a while. After about an hour, it starts getting.
Because, like I said, I've worn the wig all
wear
day.
This bitch to the club.
Or because I wear wigs to the club all the time, and it's like you don't hear me pissing
They'll look at me, I'll start laughing. I'll show it with hair, and they're like, ah. I don't take this shit serious. I'm the kind of guy that I'd be on the dance floor taking it off.
Well, yeah.
Take my hair off, yeah.
Taking his hair off.
Take my hair off, scratch my head, and then put it back on. I'm not trying to fool anybody.
Well, I mean, it's easier for you too because you don't have any hair, so it's easy for you to take it off and put it back on.
Yeah.
Because if I wear a wig, I have to put a wig cap over the hair. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a bigger deal, and plus I have to kind of clip it in there too, otherwise it slides around. So it's a whole other deal. But Tom is visibly upset.
What am I upset about?
Well, I don't know if they were talking about BTK, talking about how people were upset. Remember, BTK said something. She was
I
upset.
told her I'd have to kill her. Of course, she was upset.
She got upset.
She was upset.
Yeah. That blew my fucking mind that he said that. Yeah, she was upset. Imagine.
I gave her some water.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Just the way he said it. The way he said it implied that it was not an understandable reaction to have.
No, I think he thought it was understandable, but it was unthinkable that he wouldn't do it.
Right.
Well, I have to. That's what I do. Yeah, that's his thinking.
Well, I just have a sexual thing, and you're just gonna have to.
You have to die.
Yeah, and it's just oh well.
Here's some water to make you feel better.
I know that just fucking blows my mind that somebody thinks like that. That somebody thinks like that. That's another thing where he's just basically seeing, and this is the weird thing too, where, I mean, he compartmentalized big time. He didn't call it that. What did he call it? He called it cubing.
He cubed it into another cube,
because, he had a wife and kids and everything like that, and I don't think he would have done anything to them necessarily, because he actually saw them as people, but everybody else he really didn't seem to see as people.
Yeah.
Everybody else was just that's just a thing I can use for my sexual gratification.
Yeah. Gary's laughing. He just goes, Tom, ha ha. I don't know what you're talking about, Gary. I don't know what you're talking about, Gary. There's no fucking context there, bro.
Well, you're just funny in general.
I'm just funny, I guess. Yeah.
Maybe. What I was gonna say was that yesterday we had the house inspector.
Yeah.
Came.
Well, we had one come today too.
Oh, really? Is that what that was?
Yeah, for fucking... He was just looking for termite infestations. There aren't none, of course, which we know, but we have to get it checked. That was only $120 for that.
Oh, okay.
Just got to fucking pay for these inspections.
Yesterday the guy came. He was here for 3 hours, right? More than 3 hours.
Yeah, the house is stable.
He was up in the attic and...
He couldn't stay. The house is sound. He says the house is in good shape.
Yeah, it's like I think there's a couple little things, but nothing that's that big of a deal.
Yeah, he said it's just maintenance stuff. Just regular maintenance.
Because how old is this house? I feel like this...
15.
Oh, okay. So it's actually like about the same age as our other one.
Yeah, 12 to 15, I think it was.
Oh, okay. Gary says, where are you in America? Are you asking us? We're in Florida.
We're Florida.
Central Florida.
Yeah. You were in Eustis.
Yeah. Not that far from...
Orlando.
Right. Yeah. Zach says, ooh, the house inspector came.
Yeah. That's just one of them.
It was a porno movie. Yeah,
everybody has to buy their own inspectors. You know, VA is going to have their inspectors, and then the fucking seller is going to come, and then they're going to appraise the house, and it's got to be appraised by two different independent people, and then we'll see. Everything should be closed next month, halfway through next month.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Should be.
It should go all right.
Yeah, they're willing to negotiate with the
it.
closing costs, and we'll see. I don't think there's going to be any problems. It should close. Should close fine. I'm going to try to rig it up where a lot of the costs that we just did and the closing costs can be refactored into the financing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That way, it's not a lot of stuff out of pocket. And then...
yeah, that would be good.
Right. So, and I may be able to finance it for more than what it's actually worth, which would be kind of like taking a loan out on it.
Right.
So we could do that and fucking do some... And I'm going to try to hook it up to where the first mortgage payment might be more than 30 days away, maybe 60 days away. So that way we can get an extra pay period behind us.
Yeah.
So it'd be like skipping a month until the payments start. Be nice, huh?
Yeah, that would be nice.
So I think they said that they might be able to do something like that. We'll see.
Gramthars Hammer says BTK's daughter Carrie lives in the Orlando area. Yeah, I'd heard that.
Yeah.
Perhaps you can invite her to the Oasis for some day drinking and FaceTime with the local charmers. Oh my god. Yeah, I'd heard she lived around here. I wouldn't want to, it's like I wouldn't.
You don't bother them.
I wouldn't bother her though, because it's like, can you imagine? I just can't imagine what
she
a
didn't
fucking.
choose that shit.
That's what I mean. It's if it turned out that my dad was a serial killer, you would never hear the fucking end of it. I would have to like fucking go in the witness protection program. I don't want to deal with that fucking bullshit all the time.
Where's Tila? Is Tila up in this motherfucker?
I don't see her.
All right, go ahead and drop any questions. This is Open Lines Friday. If you guys have any questions, if you want to talk about anything, go ahead and
No need for me to says I could float you a loan, but you'd have to use Jenny as collateral.
Yeah. You'd be tearing that shit up, man. You'd send it back to me. I had to get that shit repaired.
Hey, I'm here too,
Yeah. I ain't pimping her out. I'm not going to pimp her out.
Well, gee, thanks.
I'm not going to do that.
Like it even needed to be said.
Yeah. I'm not going to pimp her out.
Yeah, I don't think Tila was here Wednesday night either, was she?
No. She was here last week, though.
Yeah, she was here last Friday.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it might be like people getting home from work and stuff. And plus, it's getting to be the holidays. Shit, man, next Friday's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to do the Christmas Eve.
Man, I gotta start thawing
show.
out. I'm gonna start thawing out those turkeys.
Oh, we're doing turkeys again?
Yeah, we're gonna do a turkey. I got 2 turkeys, but we're gonna only cook one of them because turkeys were on sale. So I said I'm gonna be 2 of them bitches.
Well,
but we're gonna get a turkey. I got a turkey and a spiral cut ham.
Well, fuck yeah, man.
All right, so
we're gonna Christmas the fuck out.
Yeah, gotta make some more stuffing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get all that fancy, but we'll see.
Yeah, Christmas. I like having turkey. I like more than anything at Christmas time. I like to have like Christmas cookies.
Yeah,
I like Christmas cookies.
Yeah, I saw this one program. This British dude, he couldn't understand it. He's like, "Why are you having Thanksgiving dinner? Because that spoils your Christmas dinner." And I'm like, "Man, fuck out of here."
No. Well, they don't do that. Well, that's what they don't do that over there.
Fuck out of here.
I mean, that's kind of their big thing is Christmas because they don't have Thanksgiving.
There's a long period of time between fucking Thanksgiving.
Well, it's a month.
It's a month. Well, that spoils you. No, it doesn't. I could eat fucking Thanksgiving once a month.
Yeah,
I really could.
I really like that. Well, and the thing about it is that, and I think we talked about this before, but like, you know, Thanksgiving dinner is much more, not everybody eats the same thing, but I feel like the majority of people, like 90% of people in America eat pretty much the same stuff for Thanksgiving, whereas Christmas is kind of all over the place.
Yeah, Christmas can be anything.
Like a lot of people will do like a big meal, but they don't necessarily do turkey. A lot of people do ham, or they do duck, or
Italians do lasagna.
Yeah, or they do a big lasagna or something like that.
Mexicans do tamales.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just something like big and special.
Right. So whatever your ethnic fucking food is, that's what you can have for Christmas.
Yeah. So Christmas, I mean, I feel like as many people's houses I've been to over Christmas, it's, you know, it varies wildly depending on where you grew up. And
turkey and stuffing is British, Anglo. That's British, Irish, Scottish, Welsh. It's, you know, it's UK based. You know, that's what that is. That's a Germanic white people type thing. The Germans would eat some shit like that too. They fucking would love that. They probably have that. If not, they definitely have that spiral cut ham. Because you know Germans eat swine. They fucking love that shit.
Yeah, when I was growing up for Christmas, we always had turkey for Thanksgiving, but for Christmas we hardly ever made turkey.
Yeah.
We always had ham.
Yeah.
Well, among other things, but that was like the main meal. We always had ham. And sometimes people would bring, like, they'd make like spicy meatballs, or you know, we had like a lot of kind of side dish type stuff, but it was like kind of all over the map.
I think technically,
we do a shrimp ring, like you know, people would have like a bunch of boiled shrimp.
I think technically, if you actually went by the book, Anglo-American Christmas dinner is probably ham. I don't think it's turkey. We just do it because there's Thanksgiving. Because it's after Thanksgiving and you can buy a bunch of turkeys.
Honestly, I like ham, but I wouldn't mind having turkey for Thanksgiving and turkey for Christmas.
I can do them both.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have it for Christmas also.
I mean, my dad's side of the family, we usually just did a spiral cut ham and a bunch of sides. My mom's side of the family, which is much larger because my mom has like 7 brothers and sisters who all had, you know, their own families. They would generally do a ham and a turkey.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of other stuff because there was like 100 people.
Now up in Michigan, over there where Gramthars at, all those fucking Polacks and Slavs and shit, their Christmas dinner is fucking. it's gonna be. Something like paprikash. Paprikash. That's what they're eating for fucking Thanksgiving. Paprikash and pierogies.
That's all right. Yeah. That sounds good, actually.
I make paprikash here, chicken paprikash on the fucking bone, man. It's just fucking good, man.
Yeah, the last time you made it was a couple months ago.
A couple months back.
But yeah, that was
cooking
really,
on the bone,
good.
fucking with that Hungarian paprika. And you're fucking cooking it in basically sour cream. Man, it's just fattening, but it is good.
It is very
And
delicious.
It's got to be hot like chili. You put it on... They're going to put it on egg noodles, but I actually like it on rice or mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
I'm not really... I don't really like egg noodles that much.
I mean, it's good like that.
Yeah.
But I like mashed potatoes, too. I like
eat pierogies, though, too.
Yeah. Ooh, pierogies.
Cheese pierogies.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oracle says, I baked snickerdoodles. Snickerdoodles. It's like, that's one thing I kind of, you know, I don't know. I kind of want to, like, I don't know if I want to bake Christmas cookies.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just go buy some.
Graham says, the Polish eat head cheese. Yeah. Oh, no, they eat head cheese in Mississippi. Fucking love head cheese.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, my grandparents ate head cheese, and they were from Tennessee.
Yeah, I like that fucking Cajun head cheese. They eat that in Mississippi. Some people are going, what the fuck is head cheese? You can take a pork head and other kind of things that you normally wouldn't eat. You just cook it down, cook it off the bone, take it, and you make a bunch of little scraps like Scrapple. And then you mix it with a bunch of things, and you make it almost kind of like a bologna. And it comes in a loaf, like a meatloaf. And you cook it, and you slice it, and you can eat it on bread. It's fucking great. If it's spiced right. It's got kind of gelatin. There's gelatin in it. You know what I mean? It's kind of gelatinous a little bit. Not all that much, but it's almost kind of like aspic. But it's got little pieces of pork in it. It's good. If it's spiced right. Real good on toast. Make a sandwich out of it. Fucking good. Real good. Mayonnaise.
No Need for Me Too says, why the hell they call it cheese? Ain't no cheese in it. Yeah, I don't really know.
There's no cheese in it at all.
No, there's not. It's head for sure.
Yeah, it's more like meatloaf.
But head loaf doesn't quite sound doesn't quite sound the same. I mean, head cheese doesn't sound that great either, but I mean, that might sound even grosser because that kind of sounds like toe cheese, but head loaf.
Head cheese.
Fucking head loaf.
I said, I need a cookie channel. Well, we got a cookbook, man.
We did, for a little while, we did a little show called On the Menu, but I think we only did like seven or eight of them, and then like we just stopped doing it. I don't know why we stopped doing it.
Well, really, you know what I mean? Unless you're going to talk about specific dishes, you'll run out of shit to talk about.
That's true.
I talked about things that were like in general, how to do certain things in general.
Yeah, he did a pizza show, we did a sauce show, we did a bunch of other different ones.
Talk about them other sauces.
Yeah.
More like just an introductory thing to fucking get people to push people down into the culinary arts.
But yeah, Gary, we did do a cookbook like a while back. You can find it.
It's got all kinds of good stuff.
Lulu.
Mexican stuff, how to make tortillas. It's got Southern food, Brazilian food, Chinese fast food, how that stuff's made.
Indian food. Lots of Indian food. We make Indian food a lot, actually.
Yeah. So it's mostly comfort food. Shit that you would buy, I'll talk about how to make that. And then I'll talk about some Southern classics, like fucking shit that Elvis used to eat. Like fool's gold. Elvis would eat fool's gold, which was a big old fucking Italian loaf of bread, slathered in butter, cut in half, with a whole jar of fucking peanut butter and a whole jar of fucking grape jelly and a whole bunch of fried bacon on it. And fucking he would pay $100 for that from his chef at his restaurant down in Nashville, and only a fool would eat that, so it's called fool's gold.
Plus, only a fool would pay $100
Only
for
fool
it. But he had $100.
He had that kind of money.
I mean, you're rich as Elvis. $100 is like $1.
Yeah.
So, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like peanut butter and jelly sandwich as much as the next person, but man,
where's Sandra?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
she was here Wednesday, I think. Yeah. But yeah, Oracle says I'm making chicken adobo, the Filipino kind, for dinner Sunday. That sounds good, actually. Yeah. So we're just gonna do turkey and ham for Christmas. Maybe I'll get some cookies. Like I said, I don't feel like baking any.
Con said he's never had gumbo. I guess he's asking if it's good. Yeah, it's very good. Gumbo, you have to have something called filet, gumbo filet, which is the spice mix. You can order it online, but make sure you have gumbo filet before you start.
It's sassafras. Is what it is.
Spelled file, gumbo file, but
it has a it has
a little kaze.
Filet.
Get that. And that's the spice that you need for gumbo. You have to understand how to make a roux, which is using butter to cook down a bunch of damn flour to make it very dark. It's like a dark thickening agent. And then you have to learn how to cook okra and allow the fucking starch to release from the okra and separate the starch from the okra so you have fucking okra slices. You got, because okra, when you cook it, will release a bunch of slime. So you can't have that in the damn gumbo. You have to cook the okra separate and separate it from that slime. Once the slime is released, you can then use the okra and add it in there. You're going to want to put chicken in it and sausage. And if you can afford shrimp, you do that too. Or blue crabs. There's a bunch of recipes for it. And you're going to want that on fucking long grain white rice. I like it on fucking basmati rice. Indian rice. I think it's really good on that. But any kind of rice, as long as it's not a sticky rice. And it's got to be white. But it's just it's a stew. It's kind of a thick stew with chicken and gumbo and sausage or shrimp or whole fucking blue crabs. Depends on how messy you want to get.
Blue crabs.
Yeah. A lot of gumbo has a mixture of all that for flavor. Some people aren't used to picking up a damn crab out of their bowl and fucking start tearing it apart and throwing and getting the meat out of a fucking little bitty blue crab. But, you know, we were doing it. The main thing, though, is to release crab flavoring into the fucking gumbo. Although it doesn't have to be in there. Chicken gumbo is good enough. And in Mexico, it'd be real easy to execute chicken gumbo. And it's just an Africanized French Louisiana stew. It's good, real good. It's within the Mexican flavor palette. But it's also within the Arabic flavor palette. Arabs would like that also. There's a lot of Arabic food that kind of tastes like that. Although they would have to stick with chicken. They would, or and if they put because we have some Arabic listeners, if you put sausage in there, of course it's going to have to be halal. So you're going to be putting beef sausage and chicken. It'll work. Doesn't have, and I don't think crabs are halal. It's been a long time. I don't think they are.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I don't think they eat shellfish.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I could be wrong about that. Mm-hmm. I was just reading an article the other day. I had actually never heard of this ever. But apparently there's a little bitty tiny species of crab that lives inside oysters. And that sometimes when you go to a restaurant and get oysters, sometimes there's this little bitty little crabs in there. Mm-hmm. And like when, I guess they have a name, I can't remember what they're called, a pea crab or something like that, like a, you know.
Yeah, a little bit like the size of a pea.
Yeah. And I guess you can eat them, but they're, I had never heard of that before, but they're like, yeah, that's kind of a thing. And it's almost kind of like a little delicacy or like, oh, it's kind of like lucky when you get it. Because it's like there's this little bitty crab that lives in this fucking...
Probably wouldn't taste like much.
Well, from what I've heard, they said, yeah, they're very small, but they actually do have like a really, like pretty, not pungent, but because that sounds negative, but a pretty strong like crab flavor, like even though they're very small. And you can eat them shell and all because they're really, really little. But I was like, wow, I had never heard of that. Yeah. Little tiny crabs living inside oysters. Like, so when you go and get like oysters at a restaurant, like every now and then there's little bitty crabs in there. But I guess I don't know. I kind of feel like that should be wider, more widely dispersed information because if you get oysters at a fucking restaurant or a bar or something, you're like, oh my God, there's bugs in it. Yeah.
Zach said he actually tried doing a fool's gold type sandwich a few weeks ago, and he could feel the arteries clogging after eating it.
Right.
Yeah, but was it good? That's what it is. Is it good?
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah. That could mean either thing.
And Mary's saying in Gumbo, Alabama, and New Orleans, it's good. Jambula. I don't know what jambula is. Jambalaya. I don't know what you're talking about. Although jambalaya is not gumbo. There's two different things. Jambalaya is more kind of like...
I mean, they're similar, but they're not really...
Yeah, jambalaya is rice.
Yeah.
That's more kind of like what do you call that? Biryani. Indian biryani. But it doesn't taste like that, but it's the same concept.
Man, I suddenly wanted some, like, Indian food.
Yeah. Con says it sounds delicious. Yeah, it's good. You'd like it. Just make sure you order some gumbo filet. It's the little spice mix.
Yeah, a bunch of different places here make it. Like, I think McCormick's makes one, and what's that other? Zatarain's makes one.
Zatarain's is the standard. That's the basic one.
Because that's more like a New Orleans. Yeah, and everybody has that. What was I was going to say?
Tammy's asking if there's a recipe in my book. A recipe for what, Tammy? I don't hear you. Jambalaya, I think I do have... No, excuse me, from gumbo, I think there is gumbo.
Yeah, there's a gumbo and jambalaya.
Gumbo and jambalaya, yeah.
Yeah. DJ Maniac says they make a special shampoo and a comb for that. For those little bitty crabs. For the little crabs and the oysters.
Zach says, well, I probably used the wrong bread. I couldn't taste peanut butter, and the bacon I cooked in a microwave because I'm a glassy bitch. You don't cook bacon in a microwave, dude.
You can.
You can, but that's not.
We used to have one of those bacon cookers that my grandma got off of the TV.
Yeah.
Off the TV.
Yeah.
And it works pretty good, actually.
Yeah. David says, y'all are making me hungry. Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I started thinking about Indian food, and then I was like, maybe if we go to the movies tomorrow, maybe I can go over. There's actually a little Indian place in the mall across from the called I Spice. Is that what it's called? Spice Me or something like that.
Dermot up in England is talking about how they have biryani up there.
Yeah, chicken biryani with a side of curry sauce, my favorite Indian food here in the UK. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, Indian food is probably way more prevalent in the UK than here.
Yeah. If you were to make jambalaya, if you were to make it right, it's kind of like that. But it's a Cajun version. The spice profile is different. And there's a bunch of different variations of jambalaya, but it's a rice dish with chicken and sausage in it and a bunch of spices. It's good. It's like a biryani.
Yeah, it is very similar.
Yeah.
I think of all the Indian foods, I like biryani, but what's I don't know. My favorite is probably, man, I really, like, your butter chicken is really good, and I'm really also into saag paneer.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And Memories of India, which is like a really good Indian restaurant that we have here, like they have, their lamb korma is just like...
Real good. Yeah.
And it's like every time I go there, they have like an extensive menu, and I'm always kind of like, man, I should like try something else. But every time I go, I mean, the lamb korma is just so good.
Yeah.
Now sometimes I get, what's that other thing I get? I get something with shrimp in it too.
That was shrimp.
What was that? Masala?
Masala.
Yeah.
Masala, yeah.
Yeah, with like the curry leaves and stuff. That's really good. But man, their lamb korma is like really good. It's got slivered almonds and...
Yeah, we haven't been in a while. Yeah. And they give you just enough to where if you eat it all, you're just fucking, you can't eat anymore.
Yeah.
It's about $15 a plate, but you can't eat anymore.
Yeah, because, man, they bring you like the naan and all the...
Yeah, the little fucking, what do you call little chip things? I forgot what they're called.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a little Pringle.
It's like a little Pringle.
It's like a little Pringle. It's made out of fucking chickpeas, not chickpeas. What do you call things? Lentils. It's like ground up lentils and fried.
Yeah.
Flat. They turn them into flat and they fry them, and you can like there's little chutneys you can put on them. Onion chutney. I forgot what they're called though.
Yeah, Hugo says I love lamb. I do too. And you don't. I mean, you can buy it in the U.S., but it's not as widespread. You know, if you go to a grocery store, it's like they'll have a couple packages of lamb chops.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I mean, I feel like if you want to make stuff with lamb, you kind of have to go to a butcher. They don't really have it in grocery stores, not to any great extent.
Tammy says no. Tammy is saying no. There is a recipe in the book. I don't know what you're talking about, babe.
Jambalaya and gumbo.
Yeah, it is in there.
Yeah. In there. Yeah. Well, that's what she was saying. She said, I'm saying that there was a recipe
in
there because I think she has it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Mary Connolly says, I love eggplant parmesan. Me too. Honestly, I could eat Italian food all day long. I could eat Indian food all day long. I just like food in general.
Oracle says shrimp and grits is delicious. Yeah, we do all kinds of grits dishes. Cheese and grits with fucking sausage and eggs or whatever. Now,
that's another place we haven't been. Like the place that's right near Mannequins, Chantel's.
Yeah.
They make excellent shrimp and grits. Can't get it in the middle of the night because they have limited menu.
Right.
But if you go during the day, they have like really good shrimp and grits. You can get chicken and waffles in the middle of the night.
Talking about seafood mokkayeti, which it's ringing a bell, but I can't really picture it.
Thank you, Zach.
What do you say?
In Hawaii, they sold boxed lunches for $5 from this one place. A ton of food, Korean barbecue type shit. Oh my god, some of the best food I've had. Wish boxed lunches were a bigger thing here. You could make a killing. Yeah, you don't really see that all that much, do you? Which, strange. I mean, you do, I guess it's like fast food type of place, or maybe food trucks do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, not a lot of like restaurants do it, which is a little strange. David June says, grits aren't exactly healthy, but I like them.
They're not unhealthy either. No more than rice or anything else.
Grits are only unhealthy because of all the stuff people put in.
Yeah, because what they put in.
Because you put like half a stick of butter in there.
It's nothing more than just a blended up hominy, which is corn.
Yeah.
Popcorn. That's all.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's kind of like one of those things that a lot of stuff is only unhealthy because of like shit that gets added to it.
Yeah, they're putting all that bacon grease in there.
Right.
And butter. Which actually butter is nowhere near as bad as people think it is. Vegetable oil is worse than butter. But for your arteries. The worst of all would be bacon grease.
Yeah.
Bacon grease is the one that really gets you.
And honestly, growing up, it's like, man,
You eat a lot of that in the
we
South.
cooked everything in bacon grease.
Yeah.
You'd get up in the morning. That's what your breakfast was. They'd fry eggs
Bacon,
in
yeah.
bacon grease.
Put the bacon on there. And
They'd even, I think, like sometimes my grandparents would even like make French toast in bacon grease.
Yeah. And then,
Which is delicious.
then
but
you're taking toast with jelly and butter, and then sopping up the bacon grease on the plate along with the
Right.
fucking egg yolk. And eating it.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that stuff, but
It's not good for you.
I can't eat like that anymore.
No,
like,
you can't
and
eat that regularly.
honestly, I love like big breakfasts. That's one of the things
Yeah.
that I most look for, but I can't. I don't know. It's all like an ideation because I can't eat it.
Part of the reason why my dad has all those stents in his heart and fucking his chest cut open is because when he was a baby, they put fucking milk in the bottle and then put in like fucking 3 or 4 tablespoons of fucking bacon grease.
But it's
in
good
the
for
fucking
you.
bottle for you baby. Baby, you gotta have bacon grease in the bottle to fatten them up, keep them healthy. That's the with
It's a very southern thing.
It's a very
That's
Southern
like,
thing, yeah.
well, yeah, because my grandmother
Yeah.
was just like
Right.
that.
Put
like,
some sugar in it. There you
Yeah.
go. Get that.
if you weren't eating or if you weren't eating a lot,
Yeah.
and she was skinny her whole life, like
Yeah.
until she died. She was very, very thin. So she could eat whatever she wanted and
Yeah.
not get fat because she was like super lucky.
Yeah.
But, you know, the rest of us, like when we were kids, you know, if you weren't eating like 2 or 3 helpings of something, so what's the matter with you? Are
Yeah.
you sick?
Yeah.
Come on, you need to you need to
Yeah.
eat something. You're starving.
Back in the 70s and shit, 70s and the 80s when they were eating like that fucking heavy, it started to trail off in the modern era. But back in the old days, eating like that. Southern girls that had that fucking Ellie Mae Clampett fucking notoriety, you know what I mean? They were voluptuous. I remember them. And it's because of that diet. Now, they were kind of like Mexican girls, too. They hit 20 and they were kind of fat, but when they were teenagers, they were fucking had nice big booty and fucking, you know.
Yeah, you can
boobs
get
and
away
shit.
with it until you hit 20,
Till
and
you
then
get
you
about
just
20
like
and it start getting right. Right,
it catches up
Right.
with you.
right. So that's kind of how they were. Ellie Mae had a lot of junk in the trunk. She was fucking, you know, hourglass figure, kind of like the Dolly Parton would be the archetype. That's. But she was not natural. Dolly was implants and plastic surgery and chemicals and stuff from day one, which people used to bag on her. But Dolly was a class act. She took that southern look to its highest tech level, even back in the 70s.
And she wasn't trying to hide
She
it
wasn't
from
trying to
anybody.
hide it. No, that's she.
I mean, she was very open about
Yep,
it.
very open about it.
And she just made a joke about it.
Yeah, she's very open that it was not natural.
Which is why everybody loves her to this day.
Yeah, she was
She
class
wasn't
act.
trying to fool anybody.
No, very, very sweet girl. Very sweet girl. She could sing, man. She could sing. She was pretty, real pretty.
Zach says, also, I'm about to cook a burger for dinner. What should I put on it? Fried egg.
Fried egg, bacon, and guacamole. With tomato.
That sounds like a good
Yeah,
idea.
and a sprig of fucking, and a shake of that damn fucking El Yucatano fucking brown fucking Aztec hot sauce.
Yeah, you don't put that shit on my
The
burger.
brown stuff, yeah. Oh man.
I'll be getting heartburn and then
Yeah, it says triple X on it. Fucking
super porno sauce.
super porno sauce. Fire. The best hot sauce, and I'm going to go ahead and confirm this. Got Kana Vatslan in the fucking chat. Straight from Tijuana. He will tell you El Yucatano is the best corporate hot sauce. They have a bunch of different flavors. They have like 9 of them. I've had them all. They even had like what's the little islands that they have off the fucking Mediterranean? Not the Mediterranean. What do they call them? The shit out there around fucking Jamaica and everything. And what do they call that? Caribbean.
As in Pirates of the...
Yeah, as the Pirates. They had a fucking El Yucatano has a Caribbean flavor that is fucking great too. But they never have it at the Mexican store. I had to order it directly from El Yucatano. But that's good shit. The green jalapeno sauce is fucking great. The red's pretty good, and then the brown will really fuck you up. That's the good one. That's the best one. The brown one and the green one, and the Caribbean. I think they had one that was kind of yellow. It was like a mustard, if I remember correctly. I think it was. Yeah, that was good too. Or maybe that was Caribbean. I think Caribbean was the yellow one. I don't remember the exact color. But no, that's the best hot sauce. Best Mexican hot sauce right there.
I can't eat super hot stuff, like I said. My stomach's just like,
well, it's not just the heat level, it's the flavor. Those flavors are really good.
Well, that's what I mean. It bums me out that I can't really eat. I mean, I can, but I'll regret it. Like for a day or two afterward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Fucking Khan's correct me. It's El Yucateco. That's right. El Yucateco. It's not El Yucatano.
You used to have to drive. Well, actually, it's not that far now, but you used to drive to that little Mexican grocery store, which is actually only a couple miles from our new house.
Yeah.
To stock up on that because every now and then you can find the brown one at Walmart.
Yeah.
But not like sometimes. It's hit or miss.
Yeah. Camp guy's talking about that fucking quadruple X fucking black hot sauce. Yeah, that's what I was telling. There's a black one and a brown one. I've had them both. The black one's good too. And it's El Yucateco, not El Yucatano. It's Yucatan Peninsula, but it's called Yucateco.
Didn't somebody send you like a big box of a whole bunch of those?
I'm still not done with them.
We've still got some.
Still got it. So they sent me a case of the brown one.
Yeah.
It's the triple X.
Tom puts hot sauce on pretty much everything.
Yeah. I made a fucking bean burrito today if I could put some of that sauce on it.
Did you put some on mine? Because it seemed kind of high. Okay.
No.
Because I was like...
No, that was just a regular... It had a little bit of... in those beans, it had onions, a little bit of garlic, cumin, and a little bit of chili powder. That was it.
Oh, okay.
That's the chili powder that was in there.
All right. So it wasn't like
black beans, yeah.
It was a little bit hot, but it wasn't.
It
wasn't all that hot. I can do a little bit hot, but like I said, the older I get, the more I'm getting. I'm turning into one of those old people that can only eat stuff that's like all bland.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I have like really bad.
Kanavasan says that black habanero is the hardcore use. That's the VIP stuff. Yeah, that's the one. I love that shit.
Dermot said I had Tabasco sauce on my pizza this evening. That's Louisiana hot sauce. I grew up on that too. Tabasco is fucking got too much of a vinegar flavor to it for me. I actually like the other one, the one that was in the damn white, the white label on it. It's the competitor. It's a lot cheaper. You guys might remind me but fucking we used to have that, not crystals. That's actually more common in Louisiana and Mississippi. Was the one with the white label. It's just the fucking. It's been so long the brands are eluding me now. But no, fucking Tabasco. That's fucking. That's tourist shit. That's tourist. It is good, but there's a better Louisiana hot sauce than that. I'm just trying to remember what it was. A white label, red lettering on it. You guys will remind. You guys remember. I'll figure it out. I was laughing because earlier on, I've been watching Jade the Libra is doing her December vlog.
Yeah.
And she was making her... They had some leftover pizza, and she was heating it up for dinner for her and her husband. And the pizza she was giving her husband, she put ranch dressing all over it. And I'm like,
pizza?
Oh my God, so Midwestern. I forgot they're from Kansas City.
Yeah, that's some fucking...
That is a Midwestern. Damn. They put ranch on everything. I'm not averse to ranch dressing, but Jesus Christ, ranch on pizza? And then I'm like looking at them going, how are you guys not fat? They're thin. And like, how do people eat pizza with ranch dressing on it like every fucking day and they're not fat? I don't understand. They must have like they must have really, really good metabolism.
I was right. It's called Crystal.
Yeah, you said that.
Crystal. Yeah, I'm trying to fucking find a picture of Crystal. This is the one I actually grew up with.
Yeah, they still sell that one.
Crystal.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Oh, Crystal.
Yeah.
And that is like 1/3 or 1/4 the price of Tabasco, but better. Tabasco, like I said, is that's kind of like the damn touristy shit.
Oh, you fucked up the lighting. Look what you did.
Did it?
Yep.
You could get a little bottle of Tabasco this big, it'd be like $4. You could get a huge bottle of Crystal for $1. And it was, don't play the game. Don't play the game. You go to Louisiana, they're fucking...
Don't play Big Tabasco's
Don't play
game.
the Big Tabasco's game.
I'm trying to get the lighting back to how it was, but
there you go.
you fucked it all up.
You go to Mississippi, Louisiana, we're having fucking crystal. That's what's going to be on the table.
Not crystal meth. That's a completely different thing.
No, just crystal. Yeah.
David June said, have y'all ever considered a Listener Tales episode? Just a whole episode of stories people send you of strange supernatural events that happen. Well, we did that for Halloween, I think, one year, right?
Yeah, it took like 5 hours.
It did. Well, yeah, we had people like send us... Yeah. I think we did it for Halloween either one year or a couple years in a row. And listeners sent in their ghost stories. That was actually pretty fun. Maybe we could do that again one of these days. Man, my drink's empty. Look at that.
I'll get you one.
Okay, thank you.
It says, I feel like I had crystal. So, yeah, it is a little bit saltier than Tabasco and less vinegary. But that's actually what we would eat.
Mary Connolly says, Martha Stewart has a gathering on the beach and has a clam boil or something. Potatoes and clams or something boiled on the beach. Yeah, that's kind of like, we've done that before, not on the beach, obviously, but we've done it with shrimp, and we didn't put clams in there, but we put crab legs in there, and potatoes and little short corn on the cobs in a big, huge pot with crab boil sauce in there, and it's really, really good. And then you dump it all out on a table and just like go to town. Zach says, if it says anything, the state dessert of Indiana is the sugar cream pie, which Tom might like. That sounds good, actually. Unhealthy as fuck, but so good. Yeah. One of my favorite desserts growing up, I don't know if I could eat it nowadays because it'd probably be too sweet, but my grandma used to make gooey butter cake. And honestly, I didn't know, like, because when I was growing up, nobody else that I knew what it was, so I thought that was just her thing, because she had the recipe from her mom.
Yeah.
From my great-grandma.
It's not what it sounds like. It's actually a lot better than it sounds.
It's super, super sweet. We would bug my grandma to make it, we'd bug her, like, start bugging her around Thanksgiving. Every now and then, she'd break down and make it for Thanksgiving, but usually she's like, no, you have to wait till Christmas. I'm only making it one time a year, and Christmas is it. So she would make it, but it's super, super rich. And honestly, like, it's kind of one of those things that it has, like, quote-unquote real ingredients, but it also has, you can use, like, boxed cake mix and mix it in with other stuff. And usually they just put kind of like, it's kind of thin. It's more like a bar, actually. It's not really a cake. It's a bar rather than more than a cake.
Kind of like across the street, a donut and a damn cinnamon roll, but I don't think it has cinnamon in it.
No, it doesn't. Honestly, it's kind of like, it almost tastes a little bit. I want to say it almost tastes a little bit like baklava, or it's in that same.
Yeah.
I mean, baklava is completely different.
I remember being surprised. I was like, "Oh, this is good."
It's very, very sweet and very, very rich, and you put like powdered sugar on the top, like. But it's, like I said, it's not really they call it gooey butter cake. It's not really a cake. It's more like a bar. It's like a bar cookie or
Here's a
something.
Southern classic for y'all. And I believe that this is probably from Florida. Key lime pie. Isn't that from the Florida Keys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Key lime pie. You need condensed milk, sugar, a bunch of lime and lemon extract, and a graham cracker crust. Man, that stuff is
tart.
It's real tart. And it's cold. It's a cold pie, and real lemony and fruity.
Like icebox pie, they call that, or they used to call them icebox pie.
Yeah, in Mississippi we called it icebox pie.
Yeah, I think that's.
But it didn't.
That's a type of pie.
It's a type of pie.
There's types of pie like sort of like some lemon pies and stuff like that that are icebox pies. Yeah. You don't bake them. Right. You bake the crust. But then the inside, you just like keep it in the fridge and it solidifies.
Right. Before refrigeration, we had things called ice boxes, and then in Mississippi and certain other parts of the South, when the refrigerator came to fruition, they still called those things ice boxes. It says ice.
Well, it's a box, and there's ice. Well, there's coldness in it, so that makes sense.
So there's certain kind of pies that you don't bake them. You let them chill in the ice box, and key lime pie. It's inexpensive and fucking fantastic, especially if you have the coloring right. Some people have used slight touches of green artificial coloring, which will make a fucking pie. Even though it's just color, for some reason it just tastes better in your mind. The way things look affects how it tastes.
Yeah. Well, just like,
And just a small touch of artificial coloring to make it greener, it just makes it fucking pop. Especially if the graham cracker crust is just really well made. And if it's kind of like dark graham crackers. I've seen some people make it with like, it's a mixture of graham crackers dust and chocolate cracker dust. I don't really. I think it would.
Now you can make key lime pie. I'm not sure if there's like a standard, because I've seen it with graham cracker crust and I've seen it with regular pie crust too.
Yeah, you can do both.
You can do either way.
I think I like it better with graham cracker.
Yeah, I mean, either crust is good. I like regular, like traditional pie crust,
either way.
But graham cracker crust is good too.
I like it with graham crackers.
I will say I really do like key lime pie. I think I slightly prefer lemon meringue, which is kind of similar, but not quite as tart, I guess. I like lemon anything, pretty much. Lemon flavored anything.
Your average key lime pie is only about an inch thick. But sometimes some people have been able to make them more closer to like an inch and a half to 2 inches thick, and it's even better. It just depends on what the dish is like, what the pan is like, and how much of that stuff you have, and the time it takes to cool it to get it to congeal. But it's just this creamy, lemony pie, very easy to make. Difficult to perfect though. See. You can execute any recipe online and go, yeah, that was pretty good. But what matters is somebody who really cares about the shit and starts to fine-tune that fucking recipe until it's just a work of art. Make it fatter. Make it greener. Different kind of crust. Different kind of toppings on it. The decorations, the presentation, all that shit matters. You know.
Well, yeah, you never know what that one little tweak is that's just going to make it sing. Like, going to put it way over the top.
Right. But it's cool and tart and it's got a good texture.
That is the most Florida of pies.
Florida as fuck. And it mixes with alcohol. Mixes with alcohol, too. That's like something that you could actually be drunk and eat that and just fucking love it.
Is this making me want some pie? I don't think we have any pie.
Out of pie. We ate the last pie.
Oh, yeah, we had a berry pie.
Had a berry pie. It's gone.
But that was a while back.
I have Pop-Tarts. I got 2 cases of Pop-Tarts.
That's kind of similar.
They keep like forever.
If you're drunk enough, you're just like, this is kind of like pie.
I saw it at Sam's, you know what I mean? He goes, man, those fuckers are cheap, man. They last forever. I says, you know, that's good. That's good emergency rations right there. Fucking, that's like something they'd give you in an MRE. They crumble up. But it wouldn't matter if you gave me that out in the field in the Army, crumbled up fucking raw Pop-Tart, I'd fucking just eat it up just with a relish. You know, like, oh, that's beautiful. Because presentation doesn't matter when you're fucking
Pop-Tarts aren't bad. Honestly, though, the strawberry ones are really the only ones worth a shit.
That's what I got. They're strawberry.
Yeah, they're strawberry.
Yeah. Let me tell you, people, what you do is you get you some.
The cinnamon ones are okay.
Yeah.
But they're not
strawberry.
Strawberry's kind of like
strawberry or blueberry.
Strawberry's kind of like, well, no, blueberry can.
I like blueberry.
Suck a dick. I don't like blueberry.
This is what you do. You get your strawberry Pop-Tart. You get you some real butter and you melt it in a ramekin and you get you a paintbrush. And then you fucking once the butter's melted, you paint both sides of that Pop-Tart and put it in, and you put that into the fucking toaster.
I mean, be careful. Don't set your toaster on fire.
It'll come out sizzling, and it'll have a nice fucking color and flavor to it. It'll be a lot more succulent. I've done it.
He said succulent.
Succulent, yeah.
Ew.
Succulent little fucking Pop-Tart.
That's such a gross word. It's not as gross as moist. I said moist, you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pop-Tarts are weird because it's kind of like every now and then, like I don't think about them most of the time. This used to happen where I used to work. I'd be like working, and then like weeks and weeks would go by and I wouldn't think about it. But then every now and then I'd be like, man, I really want some Pop-Tarts. Because we had a snack machine down the thing, and it would usually have Pop-Tarts in it. So I'd go down there and get Pop-Tarts.
Look who shows up.
I know, I saw that.
Tila's showing up.
And then I'd toast them, and then I would eat one, and I'm like, man, that was really good. But then I would eat the other one, I'm like, I'm going to be sick now. Yeah. It's just like, it's too much. too much.
Yeah.
One of them's good, but 2 of them I think is too many. Unless I'm drunk, and then it's fine. Glenn Little said my mom's generation would put booze in baby bottles. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, people did that here too. Helped during teething, they told me.
Yeah.
Oh, Mom, such a joker. She's dead. I learned nothing. I mean, they were doing the best they could. I kind of feel like it was acceptable. Not so much in, like, when we were kids in the 70s. But I kind of feel like the generation before that, like my grandparents' generation, yeah, like you wanted the baby to sleep, he was kind of sick or whatever. It's like, man, just put some whiskey in there in the bottle, mix it in with the milk. It's fine. It'll help him sleep.
Tina's saying if I eat Pop-Tarts and put fucking fucking chocolate and drizzle that on there. Well, I like the strawberry ones, and with the strawberry ones, I fucking paint some fucking melted butter on them and then fucking toast them. That's what I do with them. They're good. But like I said, the reason why they're good is because you can find them on sale sometimes at fucking Sam's. A big old fucking box of them. They're cheap.
Yeah.
And they keep forever. So that's like, that'd get you through some hard times in a hurricane.
Yeah, because 2 Pop-Tarts is like 350 calories.
Yeah, and
so that's just like a meal.
And that's like fucking motivating. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay, sweet. They're talking about lemon bars. Yeah, fucking
lemon bars.
Lemon icebox pie, and it's kind of like that. And
I like lemon, like anything. Lemon cake.
Lemon's good on everything.
Lemon meringue pie.
Lemon bundt cake.
Oh yeah.
Bundt cake with lemon icing. Shoot.
I mean, I like
southern thing.
I like pretty much any kind of dessert. I'm not going to turn my nose up at pretty much anything, but I do have certain preferences. I do like lemon stuff.
Yeah.
And I like, if you're talking about cake, I will take lemon cake or vanilla type cake over chocolate cake. Now, I'm not going to turn my nose up at chocolate cake either, but if you give me a choice,
no, I'm gonna take lemon.
Yeah, I'd probably take lemon more than anything.
And you can go down to Sam's, probably Costco too, and get 2 big old fucking things of lemon juice for like a couple bucks. And from that, you can make gallons of lemonade or all these little fucking lemon things. Lemon is cheap. You can make a lot of stuff out of it.
I was going to say too, I think that, do you know when I was growing up, every year on my birthday, and my mom or my grandma or whoever was making a cake for me, what kind of cake did I want? Do you know what kind of cake I always wanted every single year for many, many years?
What's that?
Marble.
Really? Why is that one? Why that one?
I don't know.
That one's not very special, actually.
Well, I guess it's because it was mostly vanilla tasting, but it had a little bit of chocolate in it too. Because I'm not a big fan. Like, I'll eat chocolate cake. I'm not, like I said, I'm not kicking it out of bed or anything. But if you give me a choice between, like I said, vanilla or lemon or even red velvet, I'm going to choose any of those over chocolate cake. Although I will eat chocolate cake, it's good, but it's not my first favorite. And I especially don't like, or I'm not going to choose like chocolate cake with chocolate icing on it. It's just, it's too much.
When I was a kid, I liked those ridiculous ass pimp ass cakes, like fucking strawberry cake with cherry frosting and blueberry filling and fucking anything that was just, I liked anything that was fucking fruity with a lot of artificial colors in it. And fucking bright. And
See, I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
I don't know why. That's what I liked when I was a kid.
Honestly, even if nowadays, if I'm gonna have like a cupcake or something like that, I'm always gonna want like I like a vanilla cupcake with vanilla icing on it, or lemon, or just something like that that's not chocolate.
Yeah. No.
And I like red velvet too.
Oh yeah.
I really like red velvet.
Even though that's basically chocolate and tomato.
Tila says more chocolate cake for me. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And like I said, I'll eat chocolate cake. I'm not saying I don't like chocolate cake, because I do. But
women love chocolate.
But it's not my first choice though.
Really?
Honestly, it's probably, at least as far as cake is concerned.
Yeah.
When you talk about candy, I like chocolate candy, but only if it has nuts or something crunchy in it. You know what I mean?
I was never really a huge fan of chocolate. I liked stuff that was like fruit flavored.
And honestly, if you gave me a choice between here's like a plain Hershey bar and here's a zero bar, I'm taking the zero bar all day long. That's white chocolate.
You see, I'll take the Juji fruits.
Yeah, see, I don't. To me, that seems like a waste of calories.
I'll take Skittles or something. You know?
Those are just a waste of calories.
I just like that. Yeah.
Well, you know, yeah, everybody's different. I'm just saying, I've never really been into fruity candies. I like Starburst.
Yeah.
But again, it's not, if I'm going to indulge and I'm going to eat some candy, like if we're going to the movies and we're buying like candy before the movies, I'm not going to get fruity candy. No fucking way.
Yeah, cream cheese icing.
I'm going to get chocolate covered almonds, or what was the shit I got? Last time we went to the movies, we went to 7-Eleven beforehand because I had to get gas. I was like, well, let's get some candy in here. And they had, I didn't really want any candy. I said, but I want a snack. I found these bags. They were 7-Eleven brand, right? They were cashews, but they were like dill pickle flavor. So they had like dill flavoring like on the cashews.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, oh, this is intriguing. That shit was delicious.
Speaking of dill pickle flavor, when I was at the fucking biker bar today, dude at the end of the bar bought me a fucking shot that was whiskey with a side of dill pickle juice.
Mmm.
Yeah, it kind of worked. I was like, man, that works. He says, yeah, it works.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you, like, a lot, that's kind of a big thing.
Yeah, whiskey and dill pickle.
Where, people are, like, mixing drinks with dill pickle juice, which isn't that weird because, I mean, think of, like, a Bloody Mary.
Right.
You can put, like, pickle juice in there.
And I have videos. I posted them on my Facebook today. If you go on Thomas Ross Facebooks, you'll see I posted, it was dead. I went down to the biker bar. There wasn't many people there. I didn't have to pay, though. Fucking everybody bought my drinks. Fucking just weird. That's how it happened. But I took videos of it.
And then Tila said, yeah, they put pickle juice in dirty martinis. Yeah, I thought they did. Yeah, I mean, I'll drink pickle juice all day long. Yeah. I love pickles. Tila says, my wedding cake was chocolate with raspberry filling, not a white cake, an actual chocolate cake, and it was a scandal. Damn. I do kind of feel like, and I don't know. I guess in this day and age, people probably wouldn't care. But I do kind of feel like traditionally, the wedding cake was supposed to be white cake. And if you had a different kind of cake, because I remember, this is going back a long way, but I remember like some people wanted to do like some different shit. Oh, we want cupcakes in the shape of, or donuts or whatever. And their relatives, like their old relatives, like complained about it. Because it wasn't like a traditional wedding cake. Hugo says, I like whatchamacallit. Those are good, actually. They still make those, right? And Tila says, if I had to choose, I would get a Snickers. Me too, probably. And honestly, Snickers bars, man, I like to get those and I like to freeze them. And the fun size Snickers are even better. Like the ones you get for Halloween, the ones that are just like little bite size. You put those in the freezer. They'll break your teeth, but man, those are delicious. Because you got caramel, you got peanuts, you got all that stuff in there. Fucking good.
Janelle Harper says she knew that biker bar. Remember Janelle?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, I know that place. I said, yeah, that's the Oasis.
Midnight at the Oasis. Yeah. That just always makes me think of that song.
Yeah.
Every time you say it, I just think of that song. Zach says, the best chocolate I've had was in Germany. It was a chocolate bar that had blueberry-flavored liquor inside it. That'd probably be pretty good, now that I'm not real into blueberry. I like blueberry muffins, but that's about the only application. And I guess blueberry pancakes are okay. But honestly, I'd rather have pancakes without blueberries in them, thanks. But, like I said, I'm not going to get mad if they're in there. Let's see.
Remember, guys, it's open lines tonight. If you have anything you want to talk about, just go ahead and drop it down in the comments section.
Well, we are talking. We're talking about candy bars.
No, we're just seeing if they want any paranormal or unsolved mysteries or anything like that. We can dive in at any time.
Tila says, I like Butterfingers too. Yeah, Butterfingers. Butterfingers.
Yeah. Good. Those Butterfinger Blizzards are really good at Dairy Queen.
Oh, fuck yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, Blizzard, that's hard to mess up. Ice cream and candy bars. You can't really go wrong. All of those are good. The Butterfinger one is good. I like the Heath bar one.
Yeah, it's good too.
But and the peanut M&M one is good too. They do a peanut M&M one, right? I haven't been there in a long time. I don't really know. Yeah, Tammy said my mother-in-law ordered our cake and said it had to be white. So is that still a thing? Because I do kind of feel like, I mean, I don't know. I haven't been to any weddings I don't even know how long. But I feel like for a long time, people's wedding cake, it had to be a white cake for whatever reason. That was like traditional. But I thought we had kind of gotten over that stigma because everybody just was kind of doing their own thing now, and everyone was all right with it. But maybe like some old people are still getting upset about it.
Well, they got these little traditions they want you to adhere to.
And see, I thought,
like the cake has to be white.
I didn't even realize, because like I said, I don't eat to, even when because I was married before, but like we just eloped. I didn't even like worry about that. But there's this whole thing where, and especially if you have parents that are paying for the wedding.
Yeah, they want it to be a
certain way. They want it to be a certain way, even though they're not the ones getting married. So I'm just like, fucking butt out. Jesus Christ.
It's the traditions that they want to see happen.
I guess.
I don't really
I don't know. If I had kids, and they were old enough and they were getting married or whatever, even if I was paying for their wedding, I'm not going to interfere. It's not my fucking wedding.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys do what you want.
They took that shit real seriously.
I guess, but I don't know. I kind of feel like it's their day.
Yeah.
Let them have it the way they want to have it. I don't understand why you're having like all these people interfering, but that's a thing.
What I think is funny is that they're trying to get you to adhere to these time-honored traditions, but if you probably looked at the details, they're not all that time-honored.
No, of course not.
Probably go back to like the 20s, the 30s. Not that far back, really. If that. Maybe 40s. I don't know.
I mean, most of the traditions that people have are not that old.
They're not that old, no.
So it's like, I don't really know why people are worrying about it.
Who cares?
Yeah, just like, eat what you want. Like, do what you want. Do what you want. Mm-hmm. Like, I get, but I don't understand, like, interfering with other people's shit like that. Especially something as, like, a big deal or significant as a wedding. I was, like I said, even if my kid was getting married and I was, like, paying for it, I would not dream of interfering.
Right.
I was like, I'll pay for it, but you do what you want. It's your wedding.
Well, here's something that'll throw
Why would I butt in?
Here's something that'll throw a monkey wrench into all that granny thinking anyway. They want a motherfucker to dress up in a tuxedo, as if that's formal wear. Tuxedos were not formal. Tuxedos in the day that they appeared were like totally improper. That was something that a punk rocker would wear. I think it was 20s. Only a young, crazy motherfucker would wear a tuxedo. It was made up out of a bunch of other things that were around, and it was totally improper. That shirt, that short jacket with that fucking tie. When dudes first started to wear that was like a zoot suit or something. They were like, oh, you can't wear that in here. So tuxedos are not formal wear. Not originally.
Yeah, like I said, it's everything that people think of as traditional.
Yeah.
Is not as old as
you think.
People think it is.
And not as fucking formal as you think.
You know? I mean, look at all the shit about it's like, oh, well, for example, like, oh, pink is for girls. Pink
is for boys.
Yeah, because it was red. And that was like a masculine color.
They flipped it around.
Yeah. I mean, pink being for girls, that's a fairly recent phenomenon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And actually, if you look just 110 years ago of pictures of, like, little baby boys, they had little, like, white dresses and shit on. That was just what babies wore.
And everything is fucking a matter of cultural opinion, too. Like, Americans in North America have kind of culturally grown up with the ideas that certain colors match. You go to South America, they'll put colors together that don't, from my point of view, don't match, but they think they match. All right, they look like shit, I think, sometimes. But it's cultural. Here's another example. Like, when I was fucking signing for this house, and they were talking about the housing commission and fucking what it is, you can't do this, everything has to be approved, what color it's going to be. And I says, it's funny, it's kind of like they don't fucking trust your taste in things. And she was like, no, they don't. And I says, where's this coming from? And it turns out, one of the reasons why the HOAs are so worried about you changing the color of your house is because in Haiti, all of the government buildings and all of the buildings of important rich people are painted pink. So when they move here and they get a nice house, what color do you think they're going to paint their house?
Well, yeah.
They're going to paint a fucking bitch pink.
I kind of figured that's where that came from.
That's
it's
where
like,
that comes from.
We have to have very like subdued colors.
Right.
We don't want this looking like one of those countries.
Yeah.
That's not all white people.
Well,
That's.
the pink house kind of sucks though when you think about it. It's because
I'm not a big fan of pink, but it could be done cool. I mean, I'm not gonna be mad.
It's a cultural thing. Pink doesn't look good on a house, if you ask me. The reason why they want them pink is because there's a long tradition of fucking government buildings and rich people's houses being pink.
And that's
in
just
Haiti.
that's their
so
cultural
that's
experience.
the color they're gonna go to. It's a signal. It's a virtue signal, or it's a wealth signal. It doesn't culturally translate though when you're living in fucking Florida among all these tropical houses and all these old Spanish style, because this is actually Spanish style architecture. If you look at even brand new houses built here in Florida,
a lot of them are very Mediterranean.
they're going to try to make that bitch look Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay. Spain didn't have pink. So I understand what they're talking about. Most houses here are kind of like brown or tan or gray. That's color.
Well, I kind of feel like I said, particularly the last 10, 20 years, you've really seen an upsurge in this kind of like Mediterranean kind of, where it's like golds, browns,
right.
Just neutral colors.
Right. So you buy a $500,000 house, which we're getting here. This bitch is fucking $475,000. Motherfucker paints a house pink next to it, and all of a sudden my house loses $50,000 on it. So that's what they're trying to prevent.
Do you know when I was a kid, and I grew up in Daytona Beach, which, I mean, obviously, like, we grew up pretty poor, so I never lived anywhere that had an HOA. But when I was a kid, one of my favorite houses in Daytona Beach, and it was one of the rich people houses, but it wasn't in like a planned community or anything. It was actually right on the ocean. It was on A1A. It was on the beach side. And whoever owned this house, they must have been millionaires because the house was fucking massive. But they just said, fuck it, and they painted the house all kind of different crazy colors. Yeah. It's like, it's bright blue, it's bright red, it had this kind of, and I fucking loved it. Yeah. It was so crazy looking, but I was just kind of like, man, look at that shit. They do not give a single fuck, and I am all about it.
Yeah.
But nobody ever complained because, I mean, I think their neighbors complained because they thought it was an eyesore.
T's going, I can't believe I'm drinking wine. Why can't you believe? I used to drink wine all the time. And then she goes, look, there's a gorgeous black Victorian home from Berkeley, California, very gothic chic.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that.
Yeah, I know the house. I've seen photographs.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, actually, you would think that a black house would look fucked up.
No, it doesn't.
Black houses look really cool.
They do.
You just have to know how to decorate one. It's black and a bunch of fucking gray. Black and kind of an off dark.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Gray. If it's done right, it's fucking really good. The problem is you could never, ever, unless you were a millionaire, paint a house gray in Florida. The cooling costs would just be fucking.
Well, there's a lot of houses here that are gray, but it's usually like
it's not. That
it's
dark.
like lighter gray.
It's a lighter gray. Yeah, you couldn't paint a house black here. It would just get fucking hot.
Yeah, you'd roast in there.
You'd roast in it.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be averse to having the outside of the house black, but yeah, it would be like an oven inside.
We already have 2 fucking central units in this house. If it was black, you'd probably need 4. And
bitch, I painted this room black.
Yeah, but the whole house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would attract all that fucking solar radiation and just cook it. So you'd need a lot of fucking air conditioner to keep it cool. But up in California, it wouldn't matter. California doesn't get hot. Not hot enough to worry about. But, yeah, she's talking about wine. I used to drink wine. Wine is a good light drinking, buzz-oriented thing. Be prepared to fucking piss it all out. That's really what it is. But you got to drink a lot of it. You got to continue to drink. And wine is a fucking good drink. I used to drink it by the box sometimes. Me and my first wife, we would fucking drink wine.
Every now and then, I kind of wish I could get more into it.
You can get into it. The problem with wine is the next morning. It tends to be pretty rough with the hangover deal.
Yeah.
For me, it does. I mean,
to be honest, I don't really get that bad of hangovers anymore if I remember to take a bunch of aspirin before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
After I drink a lot. If I take a bunch of aspirin and drink a whole glass of water and then go to sleep, I usually wake up fine.
Yeah.
I don't usually have a hangover. Now, I'm usually real tired the next afternoon, but I don't have, like, headaches or nothing.
Back in the 90s, you'd go to Walmart and we'd be shopping, me and my first wife.
She had a box of wine.
See a fucking box of Merlot there. And she's like, get 4 of those things. They were cheap. They were fucking cheap, man. They were like
Woo,
$7.
wine. All right.
They were like $7 for a fucking big old box of damn wine. We're like, yeah, we're going to get some of these. And we'd be listening to fucking goth music. We'd be listening to fucking, Current 93 and all that. Fucking
that sounds
neo-folk.
Fun. That sounds fun, doesn't
listen
it?
to all that neo-folk music and have the fucking candles going and shit. Fucking David Tibet fucking singing. And we'd be just drinking fucking wine and get loaded. And, it was fun. It was fun. It's not the same as drinking hard alcohol or beer. Beer is my least favorite. I don't really like beer that much.
I don't either.
It's too heavy and you have to drink a lot of it.
Beer just makes me sleepy and like I have to
really
pee all the time. Yeah, it makes me feel kind of
Beer
bloated.
makes you feel extremely fat. Wine, not so much. Wine doesn't make you feel fat. I don't know why. Because you still have to drink a lot of it. But maybe it's lower calorie. I don't know. Maybe it's less carbs.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I'll drink beer,
You never
but
feel bloated on it.
But yeah, beer, honestly, because, sometimes I'll drink beer if we go to a place that doesn't have a liquor license. Like, all they have is beer and wine. So sometimes I'll get beer, but honestly, I just have a beer or two and then I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel like I just ate Thanksgiving dinner. It's very, very filling. And it just makes me want to pee every 5 minutes, which that sucks. But, Tila says, boxed wine best at Trader Joe's, $5.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen a Trader Joe's around here. I don't think we have those.
Yeah, we do, but
where are they?
the closest one,
We have the other one, the sister version of it. Aldi's?
no, that's not the same thing.
Something, okay.
Aldi's European. Trader Joe's,
so Trader Joe's.
there's a Trader Joe's, shit, where the fuck is it? I thought it was over there by that mall where that World Market is, where we used to go. That's not that far from our old house.
Yeah.
I thought there was a Trader Joe's over there.
I don't remember.
remember.
Trader Joe's was a European thing, like Aldi's.
I don't think
There's
it is.
two
I don't
different
think it
Aldi's,
is.
I think.
Yeah, but we
they're
only
the
have the
same
one.
Aldi.
There's the North one in this, or Nord and Sud, or whatever.
Right.
We only have it's two different companies, but we only have the one that's.
And then Trader Joe's is kind of like an American version of Aldi's. And doesn't Trader Joe's have two different forms?
I don't
think it's.
I don't know, actually.
I think Trader Joe's is the same.
Trader Joe's is it's a similar thing in that they have their own house brands that a lot of people like better.
Yeah, they
than,
say they're better than the name brands.
I don't think I've ever been in a Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
It's
supposed to have real good stuff, like real good hot sauces and real good mixes and good.
I've heard that too. We do. There is one around here. I just don't. You should Google that shit.
And I'll look for it. And they have I think they have their own soft drinks, their own drinks. They're supposed to be really good.
Yeah, they have their own house brands.
Yeah.
Like I said, like Aldi does, kind of in a lot of ways. And a lot of people like those better than regular brand name.
Well,
shit.
the dude that owns it knew what he was doing. We saw a whole fucking.
Yeah, I think Company Man.
Yeah, there's a channel called Company Man on YouTube. You all need to check it out. It's a good channel, real good.
Yeah, he puts one or two videos up a week, actually.
Yeah, Company Man. And he will tell you the nature of every one of these companies, who owns them, and what their marketing strategy is, and how strong or weak they are. And he did one on Trader Joe's, and I was like, oh man, I want to go to that. But I've never been to one.
I think there is one. Do you remember? I can't remember what that shopping plaza was called, but remember that whole shopping area where the old Toys R Us was?
Yeah.
I think there's one around there, like where the World Market is.
Yeah.
Where the Old Spirit Halloween was, like a couple years
ago. Exactly
ago.
what you're talking about.
I think there's one in there.
Okay.
But I might be crazy, or it might be around there somewhere.
Yeah, he said you want to go.
We do have one somewhere.
You want to go down there and buy their sausages and and their fucking soft drinks and their mixes on things, and they'll have energy drinks that are just for Trader Joe's. They're supposed to be fantastic.
Well, that's how they
Real
can
good.
keep low overheads. It's the same thing with Aldi, and
Aldi,
the
too.
company man did a video on Aldi as well.
Everything from Aldi's is good.
Yeah, and that's kind of how they keep costs down. Is that I mean, the Aldi here does sell some big name brand shit, but their whole thing is they keep low overheads because they have their own branded stuff.
Yeah.
And their branded stuff that they make is, equal to, or better than some of the brand name shit. So, you know what I mean?
See, it's not that expensive. Yeah, here that Aldi's and that kind of stuff is cheap.
Yeah.
Here it's very inexpensive.
Yeah, we used to go to Aldi all the time, actually.
Yeah.
Because there was an Aldi not that far from our old house. And I think there's... I don't know if we're still, is that the closest one? Now that we've moved, I haven't checked. We haven't been to Aldi.
She said that Trader Joe has a great customer service and a nice liquor selection. That sounds good. Yeah.
There's one around here somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll just have to look.
If you go to Aldi's here, the quality is extremely good. It's European stuff, repackaged, or sometimes it's, but I think it's repackaged. It's their own stuff. And it's cheaper than Walmart. Or Walmart prices, but the quality's a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, shit we've got from there that was just kind of Aldi brand or some weird off brand or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of that shit's really, really good.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Best supermarket in Florida is Publix. Publix is the best. They got their own brand stuff. It's good.
And their own brand stuff
is fucking top notch.
Is really good.
Their Publix brand ice cream is up there with Bluebell ice cream. And I love Bluebell. That's quite a compliment. Their ice cream is fucking fantastic. And anything from their deli is super good. If you want
and their bakery is also excellent.
If you want a big old sub sandwich or a big fucking grinder or whatever it is, I don't know what country in up north they call it a grinder. If you want a big old sub sandwich, they got Cuban sandwiches and stuff, you go to fucking Publix. And for $6 or $7 you get one that fucking big. Cut in half. Beautiful. Whatever you want.
And they'll make it for you right in front of your face.
Make it for you right there in front of you. Whatever you want. There'll be a big line of people. And then they'll have big old buckets of fried chicken. Or barbecue chicken. Or big rotisserie chickens. 4 or 5 different flavors. You can get a big rotisserie chicken for $4. I mean, it's cheaper than a raw chicken. A lot cheaper. Because it's the chickens that are getting ready to reach expiration date. They have to sell them.
So they cook them, yeah.
So they just cook them. And they sell them for $4.
Well, and they do deals too, where it's you can buy a big bag of rotisserie chicken and you get a couple sides. You can pick whatever sides.
And then the fucking Hawaiian
egg
rolls.
salad, potato salad, and some rolls.
Yeah.
And it's what,
$10.
$12? I think it's $12.
$12.
Or $12.99 or something.
Yeah, and it's better than what you would get at fucking
and it'll feed
KFC.
4 people. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot better than KFC. And but it's not a bag of chicken, it's a big box. And it'll be fucking rotisserie chicken or barbecue chicken or fried chicken or whatever. And that's Publix. Publix is the shit.
I mean, to be honest with you, when you were not here for 2 weeks because you were visiting your dad, I think I went to Publix pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And just bought shit from their deli.
Yeah. You
for
can live
lunch.
off it. You can go to the Publix.
Because they have salads. They have pre-made cold sandwiches. Yeah. They have cold fried chicken tenders. They have all kind of fun shit. Soups.
Go to the Publix deli, and for $4 you get 2 big old slices of quiche Lorraine.
Yeah, that
pre-made quiche. Anything. They got everything. They got all kinds of stuff. All the sides, baked beans, fucking potato salad.
See, people piss and moan about nowadays, but grocery stores back when we were kids, they didn't have all that shit.
No, they do now. Even Winn-Dixie has upped its game.
Yep.
To try to be about as good as Publix.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, we always went to Winn-Dixie because that's what was closest.
Right.
But when I was little, Winn-Dixie or Goodings, I don't even think Goodings is around
Piggly
anymore.
Wiggly.
Or Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the cheaper store.
Piggly Wiggly.
You didn't go to Publix when I was a kid because that was too rich for my blood. Yeah. That was in the rich part of town. Yeah. So we never went to Publix. Even though nowadays they're pretty comparable. Publix and Winn-Dixie pretty much the same. But yeah, back in the old days, Winn-Dixie was kind of seen as kind of a little bit of the ghetto
it's kind of
grocery store, whereas the Publix was kind of like the ritzy grocery store.
Yeah. And Piggly Wiggly was fucking redneck as shit. That was fucking
I feel like Goodings was too.
That was trailer park. Roses. Remember Roses?
I don't think we had Roses.
Oh, man. Roses was just...
When I was a kid, we always went to Goodings, and I don't even think they have Goodings anymore. The Goodings was right next to the Arthur Treacher's, which back then was a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah. You can walk into...
Do they still have Arthur Treacher's?
I don't know. You could walk into you could walk into a Winn-Dixie now and go through the salad bar or the side bar. They got fucking ziti, meatballs with tomato sauce on them. Just all kinds of shit. And for $5, come out of there with fucking a huge pile of damn food for $5 or $6. You couldn't even eat all that. And it would be better than the kind of fast food or kind of food you would get, say, like in Boston. Like at a Boston fucking Italian sidewalk fucking Italian restaurant where they got, you know, meatballs and spaghetti and maybe some pizza, you know. It was better than that for like half the price. And I'm comparing the prices from 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Still cheaper. So, no, man, the food game has been accelerated at a nationwide level.
Well, they had to.
They had to. You can get all kinds of food everywhere for pretty damn cheap. And especially in the South.
Well, and the thing about it is that people are a lot more discerning nowadays.
Yeah, they know bad food. They know people know what bad food tastes like.
Back in the 70s, people just like took what they were given, I guess. They didn't know any better.
80s too. I got Gramthars in the fucking comment section. We were kind of up in Michigan in the 80s when we were in high school. And we'll tell you that there were little mom and pop fucking Italian restaurants that it was just 80s stodge. For fucking $7, they'd give you a whole bunch of damn pasta with cheap sauce and some shitty ass fucking meatballs in it or something. They couldn't get away with that anymore. People would go like, nah.
You'd go out of business.
Right. They all tasted the same. It's just not like it was. With those damn fucking menus that was you had to put the plastic letters in it. Remember those?
Yep.
The little plastic letters? Yeah, now it's a fucking screen and it's moving with fucking...
It's the future, bitch.
Yeah, it's the future. Yeah, it's even more in the future than fucking Back to the Future.
David June says Food Lion was the rich person store. Now, this is very interesting because... Now, this is fairly recent because this is when I still lived in Daytona. I moved out of Daytona in, 2010, 2011. But up until I moved away, the grocery stores that were like a mile from my house, because I would walk down there to do my grocery shopping. We had a Winn-Dixie on this side and a Food Lion on this side. The Food Lion was considerably more ghetto than the Winn-Dixie was pretty ghetto.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
Yeah.
Food Lion was like worse. Every now and then, if they were out of something in the Winn-Dixie, I would go to the Food Lion. But they were both like right next to each other and like pretty ghetto.
Yeah.
But so that's like really funny. But like I said, Winn-Dixie is not ghetto everywhere. It just depended on what neighborhood it was in.
Tito's going, I think Publix might be on par with fucking Safeway and Androkino's. I don't know what Androkino's... I remember Safeway as a kid. Safeway when I was a kid was kind of like crappy in a certain way. It was okay, but it wasn't that great. Safeway would be about like Winn-Dixie. It's better. Publix is better than... You can Google Publix and look at it. It would have been better than a Safeway, at least Safeway from the 70s in California when I lived there and in the 80s. Safeway was about like on par of Winn-Dixie. All right. And then you all want to laugh at Piggly Wiggly. Yeah, Piggly Wiggly was sus back in the days, but Piggly Wiggly was kind of like, it was a southern supermarket chain. It was kind of like in areas where the population was a lot smaller. So it was kind of like Dollar General Store. It was like, imagine if Dollar General Store was a full-size supermarket. That's what Piggly Wiggly was. There wasn't anything unusual about it. It was just lower end prices.
I mean, Piggly Wiggly, to me, I think I was only in a Piggly Wiggly a couple times in my whole entire life. But we used to shop at the Goodings. Yeah. That wasn't that far from my grandmother's house when I was really little.
Mary says, I love Cuban sandwiches.
And that's kind of like,
Publix Cuban sandwich is good. Yeah, Mary, it is.
I mean, I lived in Tampa for a while, and that's kind of like, other than actual Cuba, Tampa, that's where you want to go to get like some good ass Cuban sandwiches.
Now T's going, I've heard of Publix chicken was the bomb. Other YouTubers talk about Publix chicken. Yes. Publix chicken is, the quality level is above KFC.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, a lot.
And their subs are way better
right.
than pretty much any sub chain.
Yeah. Now, I gotta say,
obviously, like way better than Subway, because Subway is not that great.
The thing is about Publix is that it also depends on which Publix you go to. Some people working at Publix are putting too much goddamn salt in the damn batter. So sometimes you'll get, it's like extra crispy from, say, like, fucking Popeyes or something. But sometimes it can be a little too salty. But you could always return that shit. But chances are you're at home already, so you're not going to return it. Now, when KFC is hitting with the original blend, it's good. It is good.
My dad worked at KFC for a very long time.
When KFC's good, it's good. I like their original. But Publix is very reliable, and it's fucking real good, man. Real good shit.
Got a super chat.
You okay?
Half Naked You.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, my husband did time in 3187 from...
Third and the 187 from 99 to first, and the first and the 506.
Well, there you go, Tom.
Thank you very much. The 187 Rockassans. They were out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Toughest. Actually, I'm going to say I was in 327. I was in first and 327 Recon Platoon, also known as Tiger Force, back when we were in Vietnam. And they were I was from the most decorated platoon in the U.S. Army. But I must say that the 187th Regiment was the toughest airborne infantry regiment in the United States Army. Even better than the 50 Deuce. Now the 506th, I was in the 506th when it was attached to 2nd ID in Korea up on the DMZ, because we were on loan back then. And 506, they were fucking tough too. They were like up there with the 187. 506, 187. The 327 were wild asses. Those are fucking drinkers, gamblers, high risk motherfuckers. It's always been that way. 50 Deuce were always kind of like the smart guys. They were kind of like in the middle. But yeah, 187, good unit. But 506, yeah, we're bros. I'm gonna show you guys a picture. Piggly Wiggly. We'll try to find you a classic photo of Piggly Wiggly. All right. The fucking Piggly Wiggly sign was a pig, a cartoon pig face smiling at you, and he had a damn little cunt cap on like he was the butcher. Which
that's a little weird.
Yeah,
I am a pig, and I'm going to be killing my brethren.
And I'm serving swine. I'm a pig serving swine.
That's messed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's messed up.
There he is.
Oh, did you find the Piggly Wiggly? Yeah. See, did anybody think about the repercussions of that?
Piggly Wiggly. I'm serving swine. Pig serving swine.
He's a cannibal, is what he's saying.
No, I'm feeding you my own people.
Yeah, essentially.
They weren't thinking like that.
Nobody thought about that.
Okay.
Nobody was like... That's hilarious.
That's a new Piggly Wiggly. They didn't look like that when I was a kid.
Okay, is Piggly Wiggly still around?
Yeah, they're around.
I mean, I thought they were.
Yeah, they're around.
Didn't somebody send us a Piggly Wiggly, like a shopping bag? You know what I mean? Like a sustainable shopping bag?
I'm going to try to find...
I still have that.
A classic photo of what a Piggly Wiggly looked like back in the 1970s.
I don't know. That's the thing. Were you talking about fried chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say, look, I love KFC much as the next... Although I'm a more crispy girl than original. I'll eat original. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to shit on that. That's good too. But I like the crispy shit.
Yeah.
However, I am going to say Publix chicken from their deli is better than KFC.
That's classic Piggly Wiggly.
Not as greasy.
This is...
Okay, so that doesn't have the pig on it.
No.
Well, blow it up. Don't just show it to me. They can't see it.
Okay. That's the Piggly Wiggly I grew up with. That's some classic shit. Like something you'd find at a strip mall.
Bitch, that looks like the TG&Y.
Yeah.
Next to my grandma's house where I grew up.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember TG&Y?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember TG&Y?
Yeah, I remember. I remember TG&Y.
What the fuck was it? What did they sell in there? Like everything. It was kind of like a little
Dollar General store.
Yeah. It was kind of like it was like a Dollar General or like a
Your fucking
they just kind of had everything. Well,
yeah,
it was
everything.
Well, before they had Walmart or Target like superstores. That was where you went. It was like a general store.
Like a general store, yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. But that was I remember like when I was really little, my grandma's house across the street and down a block was a little strip mall that had a TG&Y and a hair salon and a bowling alley and something else. It was a Save-A-Lot, but it wasn't a Save-A-Lot back then. It was whatever was like the the 70s equivalent of a Save-A-Lot.
T says that Piggly Wiggly would be a cool T-shirt. There's the older version of it, which is a disc that says Piggly Wiggly with his face in it. That is kind of cool. Just if you wear that shit, people were like, "What the fuck is that?"
Mike Bird says Piggly Wiggly had to use a cartoon pig because not many customers knew how to read.
Oh, fucking stop it.
Probably true.
No.
Hugo says, Jenny, KFC or Popeyes? Ooh.
It depends.
It depends what you're getting.
And it also depends on the place. Which one?
Honestly, I probably ate way more KFC than any normal person because both my parents worked there. My uncle, when I was growing up, for many, many years, owned a KFC franchise. He owned pretty much all the KFCs in the Central Florida area, at least in the Daytona Beach area. And I think he owned some other ones too, like up into did it go as far as St. Augustine? I can't remember now, but he owned like a lot of KFCs like in this area. So anytime what?
I'm getting Florida as fuck.
Uh-oh.
I'm putting them up.
So anytime we were having a family gathering, everybody would bring big buckets of KFC because, he owned the shit, so he got it for free. And my dad worked there for a long time. My mom worked there for a long time. So we ate KFC all the fucking time.
I'm going to tell you this.
I do like KFC, but Popeyes is good too.
It's going to depend on who is staffing these restaurants.
Well, that's also a factor.
You want to know the restaurant. If you go in there and it looks fucking dirty and you smell old fucking chicken grease and those tables haven't been cleaned in a while and the fucking floor is all fucking sticky and those fucking people working in there don't give a fuck, you know what I'm talking about. They go in there and they're fucking acting asses and shit. Don't eat in either one of them. You want to go to a fucking good restaurant where there's good management to keep them motherfuckers in line. Because there's the problem is sanitation. That's with all those chicken places. Chicken is a dirty animal to cook to begin with. And when you're deep frying, a lot of shit, fucking oil gets everywhere. I've worked in kitchens. This is my fucking job. And if they can't stay on top of that fucking oil cross-contamination, you can get sick eating out of them places. If you look through history and talk about motherfuckers that have gotten sick, it's coming from chicken places. Chicken is fucking difficult to cook in mass and to keep the sanitation good.
Well, especially fried chicken because it's hard to determine, is it done?
Is it done once? And then you got fucking oil everywhere. And if you don't clean that oil up, the new oil mixes with the old oil. It gets on the fucking chicken. You got fucking nasty shit mixing. Because it's hard to clean up after all that. So you go in there and you make sure that this place is being cleaned regularly before you do any fucking business in there. And I'll tell you what, KFC's got a fucking notorious reputation for having some shitty locations. But a good location can be hidden. You just got to make sure, is that place being run right? Is management keeping those employees fucking in line? If both are working fine, it's up to you. They're about the same. But I'm going to give Popeyes the nod when it comes to fucking red beans and rice. Popeyes red beans and rice is the best red beans and rice you can get, and everybody in the South will tell you that.
Yeah, pretty much.
When you're fucking trying to make... It's like McDonald's and their French fries. The motherfuckers got badass French fries. If you're trying to make red beans and rice, you're trying to copy what Popeyes has. Their shit is good. Very good. If you go to a Popeyes, you probably should just get the red beans and rice. That's fucking great.
Back in the day, I used to like their shrimp po' boys, but I don't think they make them anymore.
Right. Now...
We went to Popeyes probably a couple months ago, and they didn't have it.
When it comes to if you've got a good KFC next to you, really what you want to focus on is the fucking original recipe chicken and the motherfucking mashed potatoes and gravy. And that coleslaw. Hard to beat that. Hard to beat that mashed potatoes and gravy. It's not... There's something about the flavor of that gravy. It is only available at KFC. And that gravy flavor profile is badass.
My dad knows how to make it.
Yeah.
He worked there a long time.
And that was the thing. If you go back into history and see what the Colonel was mad at, he was always mad about the gravy. He was.
What is the Colonel mad at?
The Colonel, back when the Colonel was alive, he would go and goes, "Is that gravy consistent?" Because that was his recipe that he clinged on to, and it had to be that particular flavor of gravy. So KFC, it's gravy. That's what you're looking for. Popeyes, red beans and rice. The chicken, kind of what and what.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, either one.
Yeah, I could take either one.
Either one.
But, I mean, if you're going to have a fast food place, you really have to have at least one thing. Like, McDonald's has their French fries.
Right.
You know, other places have other... Like, Wendy's has their Frosty. Yeah. You have to have one thing...
That stands out.
That nobody else has.
Right.
So, to give people a reason to come there specifically.
Yeah.
Tila says, Tom and Jenny, do y'all like chicken and waffles?
Oh,
Fuck yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
we
yeah.
get that from that soul food restaurant. Fucking
Chantel's.
Get that from Chantel's.
It's a couple doors down from Mannequins in downtown Sanford. Yeah. I'm sure we brought this up before. There's a place called Chantel's.
Yeah.
That's a couple doors down from Mannequins in downtown Sanford.
Yeah.
If you go there in the middle of the night, they're open till 4 a.m. But after 11 or after midnight, it's a very limited menu. But you can get chicken and waffles, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Now, it's more than I can eat. It's a lot, but it's really, really good. But if you go there in the daytime, I would get their shrimp and grits. Their shrimp and grits is divine.
I got a video of me and Jenny.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
At Chantel's.
This is a while back. Well, that's like several months ago.
Where'd that shit go?
I don't know.
Here it is. No, it's not.
Talking about Arby's curly fries. Wait, Arby's has curly fries? I haven't been to Arby's. Have I been to Arby's ever? I don't think I've been to Arby's ever.
Here's Jenny and her giant boobs.
Oh, that was when I was Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, at Chantel's. That's Chantel's.
Was I eating chicken and waffles?
No,
or I was waiting for.
We were waiting for them, and I'm sitting there. That's back when I was deep in the testosterone lust, and I was just trying.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
My shit was fucking rocked up. My fucking mouth was fucking water, and I was like, I'm gonna get it. And I'm waiting for the food.
Going,
she's
where
like,
are my chicken and waffles?
Yeah, and she's mad. She's mad at me. She's mad at me. She's going, get that fucking camera off me. I'm going like, I'm gonna hit this shit.
Do you see that face? Do you see that face?
She's like putting up with me, and I'm gonna hit. She's like, I'm gonna hit this shit right here in the fucking. That's like 2:00 in the morning, and I'm looking at her leg and shit. Fucking. I am incorrigible. I am incorrigible.
I was just hungry.
I forgot about that.
I was drunk and hungry. Drungry. Yeah. I was drungry. Yeah. Tila says all I see are boobs.
Yeah.
They are giant boobs. I mean, you know, this is why my shoulders hurt all the time.
I'm trying to get her up in that fucking gym. You fucking get some more muscle on there so she can support all that shit.
That's not how that works.
That's exactly how it works.
Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly how it works.
Tig old biddies.
Okay.
Mary Connolly says Taco Bell used to sell a salad in a bowl, and it was like 3,000 calories.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of fast food places, I feel like they were kind of like. They were making it like, look, we're being healthy. We're offering salads, but the salads that they offer in a lot of, like McDonald's, for example, some of the salads that they serve have more calories than their burgers do.
Yeah.
Because of all the stuff they put on them. And that's going back to what I was saying earlier about grits. It's not so much that grits have a lot of calories. It's all the shit that you put in there. Salad has almost no calories until
you start putting
bacon bits and ranch dressing and fucking
shit,
and you start putting all this shit on there.
Yeah.
It's not really a salad anymore at that point, because it's just kind of like you might as well just eat a fucking quarter pounder at that stage because you're putting so much like shit on there. Yeah, you've never been to Arby's for... I don't think have I been to Arby's? I'm sure I've been to an Arby's at some point in my life. I've lived almost a half century.
Yeah,
on this
I've been to
earth.
Arby's many times. It's okay.
But I feel like I haven't been there since I was a kid, probably.
The problem with Arby's is that you just don't get very much for your money because they're giving you shit like roast beef slices and sliced fucking pork slices and shit, and you can't get a whole lot for your money. But I do like Arby's. I especially like the damn horsey sauce and the Arby's sauce that you put on there. But
I'd be curious to go
The
and see
value
what
isn't there anymore.
what their game is like nowadays.
the value wasn't there the last time I went.
Yeah, but that was
15
probably
years
like a
ago,
long time
20
ago.
years ago, yeah.
As I said, most restaurants, at least ones that are still around, I kind of feel like they've really had to up their game recently.
Well, the thing with Arby's is that it's about sliced meat. And it's hard to do sliced meat cheap enough to compete with, say, like, you know what I mean, McDonald's. So it was always a little bit more expensive.
Although McDonald's isn't as cheap as it used to be either.
Not as cheap as it used to be, no.
I mean, we get
True.
2 meals and it's like almost $20,
Yeah.
to be honest, which isn't that
Yeah.
cheap.
Well, when I
Mary
was a
Connolly
kid-
says we have crystals. Yeah, we have that too. Used to be 15 cents.
Yeah.
How much are Crystals burgers now? It's kind of like White Castle.
It is White
It's
Castle.
essentially the
It
same
is
as
White
White
Castle. I think it's the same.
We've
kind.
had Crystals since I was a kid. We used to get that when I was little all the time.
White Castle was the
They used to be 10 cents per burger.
White Castle is the original hamburger. That's what it was. It elevated over time to become this big round thing. You know what I mean? Originally, it was nothing more than a meat cracker on a damn fucking dinner roll with pickle and some.
Yeah.
Wasn't much to a hamburger. People didn't want to eat them when they first showed up. It was considered to be foreign food in the early 1900s.
Which is hilarious when you think
Yeah,
about
they
it.
put them right outside fucking factories because it was a factory-based fucking economy back then. And they had to hire doctors to stand out there and tell everybody that it was okay to go in there and eat those things.
They're totally healthy. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing. We laugh at that now. They were probably far better than what the average person ate back then.
Well, yeah, I'm
People's
sure.
diets back then were terrible.
Yeah.
Mostly they ate canned food. This whole thing about, hey, you know, fucking back in the good old days. No, not in the early 1900s. Early 1900s was shit.
Yeah, they were eating terrible fucking
Yeah.
food back then.
Especially in big
We're
cities.
spoiled nowadays.
It was pre-refrigeration. Everything was canned. The quality was bad. The fucking, just the way they sealed up cans. They had rotten meat in the damn meat can. So, but White Castle and the hamburger, which was considered to be more like something German than it was American at the time. It was considered to be foreign and exotic. When it appeared, it did deliver on its claims that it was healthy, fast food that a worker could eat quickly and you'd get all your nutrition that you would need for the day. Compared to what they were eating, yeah.
Yeah,
I think so. I think
probably
so.
better than what they were
I think
eating,
so.
sure.
So they weren't lying. It's just, it was just another time. And it was
all relative.
It's all relative.
Sure.
It was a damn meat cracker with holes in it to make it cook faster.
Yeah, we cook quicker.
Onions, oil from the fucking cooking meat. They got a real light, fluffy bread, which was a dinner roll, with pickle on it, and the best preserved vegetables that you could get back in the early 1900s, which was Heinz, okay, which was ketchup and mustard, and I think that was it. I don't even think they had mayonnaise at that time. It was just ketchup and mustard and pickle. That was it, with onion. And those were vegetables back in those days. Pickles, mustard, and ketchup
What I
was
remember,
a vegetable back in those days.
When I was a kid in the 70s,
Yeah.
we used to get bags of Crystals all the time.
Yeah.
They did not have ketchup on them. It
Yeah.
was mustard and onions, and that was it.
No pickle?
And a pickle.
Pickle, yeah.
I put ketchup on it
You put
at
ketchup
home,
on after, right.
but because we had ketchup at home. They didn't put ketchup on
I
it.
think if I remember
Mustard,
correctly,
onions, pickle. That was all that was on it.
I think if I remember correctly, when you got your White Castle back in the day, they had the dispenser to squish the.
Oh, well, see, my grandpa would always go pick them up.
Okay, yeah, to squish
and bring them home in a big bag.
It would squish the fucking vegetable sauce on it, which was tomato, or that's they call that shit vegetable sauce. Okay, you're dealing with the early 1900s.
That went up until the 80s. So
yeah, vegetable sauce.
Ketchup
fucking,
is a vegetable.
which is ketchup and fucking
1, tomato's a fruit.
Tomato.
2, ketchup's not a vegetable. So
Right.
by any stretch of the
They didn't know. They were just trying to give you a full meal. And there was only one other competitor. I'm going to go ahead and give my Dago Wops out there some fucking credit because I love my Italians. There was only one other meal that was close to that, and that was the slice of pizza. But that was only Chicago and New York, more or less.
Isn't it hilarious that at one point everybody considered pizza foreign?
It was foreign, yeah.
Well, I remember cookbooks from when I was a kid that were my grandmother's cookbooks, where spaghetti and meatballs was a foreign food.
There were, during the time of Alphonse Capone, there were whole...
Alphonse
Capone. There were whole newspaper articles written about the magic of pizza, explaining to people what pizza was.
Look at this newfangled thing.
Right, and why gangsters liked it so much. It gave them the energy of gangsters.
I remember reading,
Fucking, they would say shit like that.
Gives gangsters energy. They need to like pop some motherfuckers.
Yeah. Here's something else.
I love it.
Here's something else. Roaring 20s. No matter what they fucking tell you, if you read in the newspaper, they loved gangsters. They were celebrities.
Those bitches sold papers.
And they were bringing alcohol to people.
Sure.
They didn't fucking nobody believed in fucking... Prohibition.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
The fucking... Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Yeah.
Not so good.
No, the fucking rum runners and the gangsters of old were local folk heroes.
They were the ones that made all the fucking
They made all the party happen.
Sure.
So, yeah, no, they love those dudes.
Everybody loves the dude that makes the party happen.
They had to explain to the American public at large what pizza was. And that's really what made it famous. And if you go back into those old... Because I've studied the history of food. If you go back into those old newspaper articles... There's already a war between Chicago and New York pizza.
Yes, this is going back a long way.
There's already a war. They're like,
I will take either one. They're both good.
Yeah, they're both good. But they're like, no. Real pizza is Chicago pizza. And then you got these guys in New York going, no. Real pizza is New York pizza. And there was a difference.
Bitch needs to be fucking foldable.
Yeah.
That's what New Yorkers say.
Chicago pizza is more like a fucking pizza pie. It's deep dish.
Yeah, it's more like a casserole.
Yeah, and some of it has...
But it's still good.
Some of it had a second crust over the top of it, a pizza pie.
Yeah.
And it was a meal in a slice. And it was everything you needed. All your meat, your cheeses, and your vegetables, and your bread, all in one slice. A fat motherfucker like me and Alphonse, we're going to sit there and eat a whole damn pizza. Everybody does it. The shit's addictive. Now, fucking New York slice was something that you could fold.
Yeah, it was big, but it was like floppy. You could fold it up and like walk while you were...
And you could buy a whole pizza and then eat part of it and then take the pizza in the box because they served it in boxes. And you could put that on top of your radiator. And while you went back to work at your office, it could stay there and it would stay warm until the work day was over and you could eat again at dinner. So you had lunch and dinner in a pizza.
Yeah, good deal.
So it was... That was the Italian advantage of pizza, is it was 2 meals when you bought a pizza. It was lunch and dinner. You could take it home and share it, so which they did. They didn't eat that much. Look at it; they were low protein motherfuckers. They were kind of little, or fat, depending on how they were in general muscular back then. The diet wasn't there, and the idea of fucking slinging iron wasn't there yet. They tried to teach him, fucking, what's his name? Eugen Sandow and Pandur and all those guys, but that was a fucking science. You know what I mean? That was like some secret science on diet and exercise. You take so much shit for granted, people. You take so much shit for granted.
Well, like we were saying before, a lot of traditions are not that old.
Yeah, they're not that old.
Less than a century.
And you don't realize how good your diets are compared.
Oh, I don't take anything for granted.
Just 70 years.
Honestly,
ago.
Just growing up in the 70s, the shitty food that we ate back then and put up with, that no one would put up with nowadays.
No.
I remember.
Right. Well, a lot of the fucking mojo from New York and California was really old school ways based on how good the food was. Well, that's everywhere now.
Yeah.
Everywhere now.
See, that's cool.
So it's just been democratized.
And I mean, honestly, when I was growing up as a kid, it's just kind of like I said, even Italian food when I was very little was still kind of considered foreign. Chinese food was considered foreign. So it was like kind of a rare thing. And it's like, even if you had it, it was like some Americanized weird the fucking La Choy shit you'd buy at the grocery store.
Terrible.
Which is terrible.
Right.
So the fact that you can, even in smaller towns,
get anything.
You can go out and get pretty much anything you want. I mean, unless you live in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. I mean, shit, man. Even we live kind of in the country. Mile up the road, there's a really, really good Japanese restaurant.
Right.
They got fucking sushi.
Real good shit.
It's really good. They got
and
tempura.
Japanese
they got
people working in it.
Yeah. They got like really
or maybe they might be Chinese. It's hard to tell.
That would not have happened.
No, not back in the day.
In the 70s.
No. And then I go through the most deprived state is one of the ones that I partially grew up in, which is Mississippi. It has great Southern food. It was not known for foreign food. Last time I was there, you guys were with me when I went there to go for my dad's fucking heart surgery. I went through Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and they had a fucking a Chinese restaurant there with an Eastern staff, and I asked for General Tso's chicken, and it was the best General Tso's chickens I'd had.
In Mississippi.
It's in Mississippi. Yeah. Yeah. And it here's the deal. It wasn't, instead of a Hossein sauce, they used a little bit of barbecue sauce because they couldn't get Hossein sauce, and it was fucking fantastic. And I've made that for her sometimes.
Yeah,
instead of Hossein, just put a little bit of barbecue in it. Because Hossein is similar to barbecue. And, the whole idea behind Chinese American food is to deliver a fucking great product for fucking cheap. None of that's exotic. Nothing. It's not made out of anything exotic. It's presentation and the mixture.
And it's the mixture of.
And the mixture.
Yeah.
And fucking, I ordered that shit. And I was going like, man, this is fucking good. It was better than the shit I get in Boston or New York. And I'm going, what did they do differently? And I went, I'm eating it. And it's the same price. I'm going, this is different, man. This is fucking great. And I'm going, what is this? Oh, that's not Hossein. That's fucking barbecue sauce. It worked. It worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing I like. Honestly, I think that's one of the best things that the internet has brought.
Yeah.
Is everything is just kind of like, now, wherever you are.
It's about the same.
You can find out whatever's like, if you want to cook some like exotic shit. Mm-hmm. Back in the 70s, you couldn't do that.
Couldn't even order it.
Nope.
If you did order it, it would take forever to get there.
Honestly, if you were eating sushi in the 70s, I can't like.
You were exotic.
Like everybody thought you were a weirdo.
Yeah.
Like maybe not in New York City or whatever, but like in fucking Florida for sure.
I remember when I was a kid. I'm drinking tequila right now. When I was a kid out in California in the 70s, when people were drinking tequila, that was some exotic shit. Mexico was only a fucking hour away, 2 hours away.
Do you know that I just remembered?
That was exotic shit.
I just remembered there was a whole thing in the movie The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
The John Hughes movie, which came out in what, 84?
Yeah.
And one of the signifiers that made Molly Ringwald's character rich
was that she was eating sushi.
She brought sushi for lunch.
I remember
and she had the whole thing, and like the dude, like the criminal dude, didn't like know what the fuck is that? Like that.
Right.
Which is funny because now everybody fucking eats that shit.
Everybody has that.
It's not exotic. Yeah. But back in the 80s...
Yep.
Yeah, you saw that and you were just like, yeah, what the fuck is that weird ass shit? And raw fish? Gross.
And I've been all over. Fucking Boston, New York, fucking California, fucking Brazil, fucking Europe. And that little sushi restaurant right up the street is as good as any of the other ones.
Man, they got good ass food up there. And we've eaten there a couple times now. It's like that's a really good Japanese
And that
restaurant.
chef is doing his own thing. That's his own menu, and it's his own creations, and you can only get that there. But it's fucking good. Well, that kind of foodieism and the ability to get that kind of shit wasn't around when we were in the 70s or the 80s. No. So the world has gotten a lot better. And here's the thing that I try to tell people. We don't need these motherfuckers. That has nothing to do with government or anything. It's just normal technology. It's because we have the internet with really good telecommunications.
And everybody knows what everybody else is doing.
Everybody knows what everybody else is doing.
Sure.
And you can get all these fucking supplies. So you don't need this top-down bullshit. You really don't need... Everybody is taking care of themselves. People solve their own fucking problems. How are you going to make a sushi out in the middle of nowhere? Oh, well, no, here's the recipe. Oh, well, we can get all these components. They'll be here tomorrow. That's all you need. That's all you need. Anybody can make anything anywhere. All places are about the same now. You can be in I order shit and buy shit here in Florida or even out in Mississippi, fucking even back in the late 90s. Stuff that it would be back in the day you could only get if you were in LA.
Yeah.
Like, you could only get those shoes if you were in L.A. Well, not anymore. You can get those shoes anywhere. It's a wonder. And you guys are taking it for granted. You bitches. You should be
people
happy.
are, but honestly, like, we're Gen X, so we were, like, right on the cusp.
We were on the cusp of
So
the
we
change.
lived half our lives without it.
Right.
And then half our lives with it.
Yeah, it made a big difference.
It did. Well, at least we appreciate it because I'm like, yeah, would I want to go back to a time? There were some things that were kind of cool about that, but... Everything was harder.
The supply chain.
Everything was harder.
The supply chain fucking is so much better now than it was.
I mean, it's so much easier nowadays. Holy crap.
You can find anything
Back
anywhere.
then, it was kind of a pain.
You can find any song you want.
We didn't realize it was a pain because...
It seemed normal.
We didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, I'm like, God, everything was like a big giant pain.
Let's check the
Tila says, for fast food, I usually do Habit Burger or Five Guys. I actually really, really like Five Guys. It's a tad pricey, but I mean, all their shit's pretty tight, and they make the shit like right there.
Yeah.
And they'll give you like a whole fucking bag full of fries, man.
Yeah.
You don't. I ordered. Pro tip: I always just order a small fry because it's cheaper. Because they're gonna give you like a whole fucking bag full of fries.
They give you about the same amount anyway.
So it's like, why bother paying for a large fry? They're gonna give you a whole bag full of French fries anyways. So I love the McDonald's barbecue rib sandwich. Oh, is that the McRib? I was never a fan of that. I know it's like a big thing, and a lot of people are really into it because it's limited edition. So you kind of feel like, ooh, it's like special. I don't like it though.
Tina goes, General Tso's with barbecue sauce? Yeah, sounds amazing. It was fucking amazing. That's Coach saying I look like Snake Plissken. Thank you very much. In General Tso's sauce, you're supposed to have a certain percentage of something called Hoisin sauce, which is kind of like Chinese barbecue sauce. It's kind of got a very smoky flavor to it. But hickory barbecue sauce is real close, and that's what they used. That's what the Vietnamese used in they were Vietnamese. They weren't Chinese. They're Vietnamese. They were using that in that restaurant. Fucking hickory barbecue sauce, and it was fucking mind blowing. It was better than Hoisin.
Well, if you can get something cheaper that's the same flavor profile, I mean, you might as well use that.
But if you look at the sauce, you can look at the recipe for fucking General Tso's sauce. Take whatever they tell you for Hoisin, take that out, and then put fucking hickory smoked barbecue sauce in its place. You will fucking love it. It's fucking real good. It was no joke.
Gramps Hammer says, after a night of heavy drinking at Mannequins, where would you rather go, Chantel's or the massive Chinese buffet?
Buffet.
If I had a choice, I'd rather go to a massive breakfast buffet.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm super into like breakfast food.
Yeah.
I want some eggs or omelets or pancakes or some shit like that when I'm drunk. But I don't know, man. I guess it would depend on what mood I was in. Because honestly, like, we go to Chantel's a lot of times, like, when we go to Mannequins, because it's right there. I mean, it's right there. It's like 3 doors down. And their chicken and waffles is delicious, but I can't eat it all. It's massive. It's like 3 big pieces of fried chicken on this big, huge waffle.
Yeah.
And I can't eat it all.
Gramthars asked me, question for Tom, was General Tso's a great military leader or just a great Chinese cook? He was a military leader. But I think General Tso's might have been slightly legendary, and that dish had nothing to do with him. That dish did not come from China. It came from Taiwan, and it's from the 70s. It was a 70s Taiwanese cook working out of a hotel that came up with that recipe. And here's the problem. Nobody's using that recipe. The original General Tso's chicken is unknown. Nobody really knows the recipe. Only he knew it and some of his friends. And only they remember what it really tasted like. Everybody else is using a recipe that's similar but not quite. There's a whole program on General Tso's chicken on Netflix. You can watch it.
Yeah, it's good, that documentary.
There's only a couple
really
guys that knows what the original one tasted like. And he says he's never tasted it outside of him and his friends. And they won't give it up. This is a fucking secret. It's kind of like, this is like some martial arts gangster shit. Special fucking kung fu movements and shit. They're not going to tell you what the original flavor was. They're going, yeah, that's good, but that's not it.
But I'm not going to tell you what it is.
You got to go to the Grand Masters.
Because I'm a bitch like
to know what General Tso's chicken really tasted like. But they got, is this it? And he'll be like, that's good. That ain't it, though. And fucking, you know. So only they knew what it was. And the dude that fucking made it is dead. Only a couple of his friends are still
no one
around.
will ever figure it out.
And they won't write it down and they won't tell anybody.
You guys are assholes.
Ain't that something? They won't tell anybody.
So it's like once they're dead, nobody will know and nobody will know what the original was supposed to taste like.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a certain thing.
Crazy.
And it was a house meal from a hotel/casino, I think. Wasn't it also a casino?
I think it was, yeah.
In Taiwan. And they named it after a general.
Mary Connolly said, yeah, in Mississippi, my mom from Philadelphia made spaghetti for my granddad. He didn't know what the hell it was.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, even in our lifetimes. I mean, I was a little kid. I was in the 70s. I was born in 1972, in case you guys didn't know. But when I was a little kid in the 70s, Italian food was still seen as kind of foreign.
Yeah.
Kind of foreign. Pretty much all you had, you had like Chef Boyardee in cans and the Franco-American stuff in cans. And you'd have those, remember those box things? Was that Chef? That wasn't Chef Boyardee. Who made that? Was that Franco-American? It was like, it came in a box and it was like a kit. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
It was like a kit that had all
tasted like it was terrible.
It was terrible. I mean, but like I said, you just grew up with that. You didn't know any better. All the food was kind of terrible back then. There's,
All right. Gramthars asking me why Colonel Parker and Colonel Sanders, why they were colonels. Is that some kind of... They never served in the Army. Is that stolen valor? No, it is not. In the South, you had colonels. Kentucky colonels, Tennessee colonels, Mississippi colonels. They were kind of like a local mayor. You could run for a certain office, all right? And it's long gone. They haven't been doing this in a long, long time. They probably stopped this shit in the fucking 50s or 60s. But they were kind of like... they were kind of like a mayor. You could run for colonel, and you could get that job, and you could live off a fucking stipend. They would pay you to be a colonel. They were crackers. Tila's in there laughing. She's going, yeah, her black ass laughing over cracker. Cracker is not fucking... A cracker is somebody who is crackerjack. He's a motherfucker who's dressed up. They were in these fucking suits. It was usually like a light-colored suit. They'd sit on the porch and drink fucking tea and try to sound as intelligent as possible. Say hey there, boy. No, I don't want no boy. No, don't do it. They were the local pimp daddy dressing up motherfuckers who were trying to fucking keep everybody else in line. They were kind of like, in Afghanistan, they would be like your local leader. Like your local Taliban leader or something. They were characters. They didn't have any kind of fucking authority or any kind of formal education. Like there wasn't a colonel school or anything like that. A colonel was a dude that you just elected. He ran for it. He got elected by the local population, and he was kind of like a mayor. He would get a check, and his job was to go around, and it was kind of ceremonial. If they were going to build a new building, fucking...
Hey, you got some ribbons I want to cut?
Yeah, he put some ribbons on it and tie it. And fucking, like that, and he'd drink some tea.
I'm going to show up for some shit.
Yeah, show up for some shit and maybe give a speech. That's all they did. That's what a colonel did.
Must be nice.
So...
Nice work if you can get it.
Yeah. and really what their skill was to dress nice. It's ridiculous when you think about it, but that's just the way the South was. No, so Colonel Parker was a colonel. He really was. He was a Southern colonel. And so was Colonel Sanders. He was a Kentucky colonel. But that's not saying much. It's like a mayor.
So in a way, it is kind of like stolen valor because they're not actually like a colonel,
They weren't
like
military
military.
colonels.
Right.
They weren't military colonels.
You were
No.
just somebody that dressed nice and showed up for shit.
Showed up and shit and did ceremonies. They fucking did
It was
like
a ceremonial
They were
title.
cutting a ribbon. It was a ceremonial fucking social rank.
It's like, hi, I showed up for 15 minutes and I'm getting a check and now I'm going home and I'm gonna like
I guess
have a
you
mint julep on my porch.
Yeah. Kind of like the man's version of being a fucking beauty queen. That's really what it was.
Yeah, essentially.
It's a man versus.
It's like, look, I just got to show up for some stuff. I got to lean against a car and
That's
like
right. Look good and
kind of show some cleavage.
Yeah,
and
y'all did a
whatever.
good job.
Yeah,
y'all
bye,
did
I'm
a
going
great
home
job. This is fantastic. Okay, serve the beer.
Hi, I'm
Everybody's like,
pretty.
hey, everybody,
Hi.
and then they
Yeah.
fucking said that's all they did.
I'm gonna go home and lay on my couch and eat some peanut brittle.
In the case of Colonel Parker, of course, was managing Elvis, or supposedly managing Elvis. Elvis should have fired his ass. Okay, Elvis would have made a lot more money and probably lived a lot longer had he had good management. And then the Colonel Sanders actually did start a restaurant chain.
So he did actually do something.
But it was more like a direct sales chain. He was selling recipes and spice mixes to what do you call them? Gas stations. That sometimes these gas stations had attached to them little kitchens. This was before franchising, and over time it kind of evolved into a corporate franchise where they were using his recipes and using his image, but he was not a corporate. Like Aunt Jemima and all those fucking people. You know
I don't even think was Aunt Jemima even a real person?
I think Aunt Jemima was a real person. I think Uncle Ben.
Because some of them weren't. I don't think some of them were real people. They were just
wouldn't surprise me if
mascots.
Uncle Ben's was a real person, but a lot of times they were based. Some of those recipes were based.
Well, I know Betty Crocker was not a real
No.
person. That wasn't a real person.
I think Aunt Jemima might have been actually a real person.
Where was it? Oh, okay. Janet Pirate says Jello salads were the worst. Peas, carrots, and so on. I love all the shit. This is why I love all this I don't love eating it, but I love the history of it. I love all the mid-century stuff because they called so much shit salads that is not recognizable as a salad by today's standards.
You guys can check that up. I don't remember about fucking Aunt Jemima, but some of those black people that were on those labels were actual real people, if I remember correctly. I don't think they all were, but that was the same with the white people. A lot of those white people weren't real people.
Well, like I said, Betty Crocker wasn't a real person.
Yeah.
Thank you, Victor. What are y'all talking about tonight? Food.
Just everything.
Food, like always.
Yeah.
We're always talking about food. Chef Boyardee. Interesting.
he was
Chef
real.
Boyardee, that was a real dude.
Real dude, yeah.
That was a real dude.
And he was a fucking cordon bleu chef, very fucking accomplished.
Yeah.
Did a lot
That
of
was
shit.
a real guy.
And Chef Boyardee,
That wasn't how you spelled it. That was like
No.
an Americanized version.
yeah,
Of
he
his
was
name.
kind of like the Gordon Ramsay of his day.
Yeah.
He was the real dude. And what made him so famous was that was pre-refrigeration, and he was coming up with recipes for things that could be canned and eaten at any time, which was old school fucking turn of the century MRE. You could just open it up out of a can and start eating it. A lot of times those people didn't even really heat it. If they did have a fucking central cooker, like central heat, which was a stove back then, they'd put the can on, they'd open the can and put it on the stove and let it heat in there, and then they'd eat it. But you didn't have to heat it. A lot of people didn't. But no, and here's the thing, Chef Boyardee was basic as fuck. That was basic bitch stuff when I was a kid. But actually, that was, compared to the fucking Italian sauce recipes that I have from the old Betty Crocker cookbook that I have from the 20s, what came out of a Chef Boyardee can was a lot better. A lot more spicy.
Honestly, Chef Boyardee stuff is not bad.
Not bad at all.
And honestly,
the new stuff is very good.
Yeah. I've eaten a couple like I said.
Out of the machines, it's already
out of the
hot.
machines. It's kind of like you just eat it out of the thing or heat it up in the microwave. It's totally edible.
It's a lot better. It's a lot better than it was in the 70s. The ravioli.
I like the super stuffed ravioli. Honestly,
yeah, real good.
That was when I was a kid. I used to eat that spaghetti meatballs, the beefaroni.
So a lot of that shit we made fun of in the 70s was actually fucking very futuristic if you looked at it from the point of view of the 20s.
And I kind of feel like Chef Boyardee is kind of like, just like everything else, it had to get better nowadays. Yeah. Tila says, Chef Boyardee was real? Damn, bless his canned ravioli ass.
Yeah.
He was a real guy.
Real dude.
I think his last name was actually spelled...
Boyardee.
It was Boyardee, but it was B-O-I-R. So
D-I.
Something like that.
Boyardee.
But it was spelled like they had to like Anglicanize it.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't
people knew how to pronounce
Boyardee. It was Boyardee.
Boyardee, yeah. That was his actual last name. But he was actually a chef.
Yeah.
That was actually what he looked like. I think Company Man did a thing about that company too.
Yeah, watch Company Man.
Because I was surprised too. I thought that was just like, I thought that was like some made up shit. No, that was a real guy.
He was like Chef Gordon Ramsay.
That was a real guy.
And he had cooked for kings across Europe and all that kind of stuff. He had his own recipe books. And he went through the fucking French method and used a lot of fucking Italian stuff. He was good, real good. He was French though, I think, wasn't he, or Italian?
Well, I thought he was Italian. Yeah.
He cooked everything. He might have been Italian, but probably Italian.
Yeah, David June says Company Man did cover it. Yeah, I thought he did.
Yeah.
He's done like a lot of. I really like that channel, but yeah, he's covered. I'm pretty sure he did like a
background on who these people were.
Yeah, it's
what
fascinating.
Those companies were
fascinating.
There's a lot more to him than you think.
He did one. I think it was last week. He did one about Nintendo. I think it was about Nintendo. Yeah. And people know about it because of the video games, but he's like, man, that company's been around since like the early 20th century.
Yeah.
And before they got into video games, they actually did card games. That was the first thing they started out to like printing playing cards. And then they started trying to get into all these other industries like rice.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Like there was a bunch of other shit that they did, but it's like, it's really interesting. Yeah, David June says, Tila, same, used to love it, still get spaghetti and meatballs from time to time. Yeah, honestly, I used to work at a print shop that was right next to a 7-Eleven, and sometimes, I didn't bring anything from home for lunch or whatever, so I'd toddle over to 7-Eleven and see what they had, and every now and then they had those little thing of ravioli or a little thing of spaghetti and meatballs, a little cup like that, you just heat it up 30 seconds in the microwave. And that was a perfectly good lunch, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
not bad at all.
That got better. The Franco-American stuff got better too.
See, I haven't had Franco-Americans because I kind of feel like Chef Boyardee, like when I was a kid, Chef Boyardee was kind of like the better shit. Franco-American was kind of like
rock bottom,
the ghetto shit. Yeah. Sometimes we'd get Franco with like SpaghettiOs or something because that's Franco-American, right? And it's like there's just one. The sauce was waterier.
Yeah, like ketchup.
And it wasn't. Yeah, and it didn't have the oomph. It wasn't like it didn't have that nice thick sauce. Like Chef Boyardee had. So Franco-American, it's like you'd eat it, but hey. I mean, when I was a kid, it's like, well, it was Chef Boyardee or nothing. We didn't want like that Franco-American
all that shit's
bullshit.
decent now. Very good.
Yeah, I haven't had Franco-American since I was little though.
The last time I had all that stuff must have been 15 years ago, and it was great. I was like, oh man, this is a lot better than it used to be. It couldn't stay like it was. Besides, all the stuff that was exotic back in those days is now plentiful and cheap. So why not put basil in there? Why not put oregano in there? I mean, it doesn't cost anything.
Those exotic spices.
It
was.
I will show you people. I have a fucking cookbook from the 1920s, Betty Crocker cookbook, that goes into the foreign section to tell you how to make Italian food and has to explain to you what oregano is. She's seen it.
I know.
It's explaining to you what oregano is.
I remember what that was like.
Because they didn't know what that was. And if you were to actually execute that tomato sauce, you'd hate it. There was nothing in it. It'd be like ketchup with a little bit of oregano in it. There was just no... And the thing is that they thought that was great.
Well, they didn't know any better.
That was all they had access to.
They didn't know any better.
There wasn't none of this. We'll put Parmesan cheese in there. We'll put some basil and some fucking...
Put some wine in that shit.
Put some garlic in it. Put some red wine in it. Cook some sausage in it. Well, they didn't think that way. They didn't have those components. Only a very rich person would have those components. And that rich person would be up in L.A. somewhere in those days. Or Chicago, New York.
I mean, I kind of feel like particularly, I think that Midwestern food particularly... very spice averse for a very, very long time.
Like going to a smorgasbord, a Swedish smorgasbord. They're not a single spice in there.
And I guess,
my God, put that black pepper down. That shit's too hot.
It's too hot.
It's too hot.
No paprika. It's too hot.
Oh, yeah.
Which
That's
is hilarious.
Straight hockey food right there. Bro.
I mean, and it's like, and I can't eat real spicy food anymore either. But I mean, black pepper, paprika, that's like nothing. That's not hot at all. That doesn't read as hot to me.
No,
but that's just like very funny.
That old fashioned fucking glacier glider food was just some fucking salt.
It didn't taste like anything.
No, salt, a little bit of black pepper, maybe. If you were fucking being adventurous.
If you were being adventurous.
Oh, let's hold the Tabasco. My God, that fucking strange ass foreign Louisiana hot sauce. We're not gonna put that on there. I remember when people were like that. They're all dead now.
Probably. Although honestly, there's still like some carryover because even when you remember when we were watching like Kitchen Nightmares, and there were a few restaurants still left over in the Midwest generally.
Yeah, but that was 15, 20 years ago. They're all dead.
20 years ago.
Those people were 70s
probably.
then. So they're dead.
But yeah, even back then, Gordon was like, "What the fuck?" Man?
He's like, these people here,
You guys don't like flavor anything? Like you don't put spice on anything?
Well,
what the
think
hell?
about it. That was 2006, 2004, and they were in their 70s then.
Yeah.
So they're dead. Gone.
Victor says, my boss sent back a chicken fried steak once because the breading was too spicy.
Yeah.
LOL.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He was very white. Very white.
That's some really white shit right there.
Yeah.
Really white.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
It is hard to...
I was just thinking about Midwest food because, like I said, I was watching Jade the Libra today, and I was watching her put that ranch dressing on that pizza for her husband. Yeah. And I was just kind of like, oh my God, that's the most Midwestern thing I've ever seen.
What a white person did back in that day...
Nobody would do that in Florida, I don't think.
They would put some fucking white, creamy, stodgy sauce on it that was kind of fucking cheesy and salty. They'd put that on it. If you had anything that was red, anything that had any kind of fucking... oh no. Fucking, it's amazing when you go back and think about what the flavor, what the palate and the flavor profile.
And I'm not saying like sometimes you want that. Sometimes you want something that's just kind of stodgy or kind of like not all that. I don't know. Every now and then it's comforting.
The only thing stodgy and white sauce that I like is country gravy on top of maybe country fried steak with some fucking hash browns next to it, or maybe some mashed potatoes. That's as stodgy as I'm gonna get. I'm through with that 70s fucking stodgy bullshit. I remember fucking Denny's. Denny's was filled with that stodgy shit for a while. Back in the 80s.
I mean, to be honest with you, I've never been, ever since I was a little kid, I'm not a big fan of drowning stuff in gravy or sauce. I'm not really a big fan of that. Honestly, even if I'm going to eat, because like other day you made baked potatoes like on the grill.
Yeah.
I don't like tons of shit on the baked potato. I don't want like fucking gravy on there. I don't want like tons of sour cream. I don't want bacon bits. Mostly I just want butter and pepper and salt. Sour cream is good on it too, but I don't want 40,000 things on it. I like to actually taste the food rather than... So I'm not a big fan of like gravy on stuff. Honestly, even when I'm eating... Like, for example, like pasta with sauce on it. I don't like a ton of sauce. I like a little bit of sauce. Just enough to like give it a flavor.
It says, what kind of company makes Italian food? And it's called Franco-American.
Yeah.
Franco-American didn't just make Italian food. They made a lot of stuff. It's just that I think over time...
Are they still around?
I think they are. over time,
They made SpaghettiOs, yeah?
Yeah, SpaghettiOs, a lasagna. They made all kinds of stuff. Spaghetti inside a fucking can.
Now I'm going to have to look that up.
Over time,
Franco-American.
they ended up being in a competition against Chef Boyardee stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Chef Boyardee was clearly superior. Their sauce was thicker.
Yeah, it's different times, but when I had them...
Back when I was a kid.
The last I had them, they were identical almost. They were just as good as...
Well, Franco-American must have upped their game then. Because back when I was a kid, Franco-American was like, that's what you got when you went to the dollar store because you were like real short that month.
Yeah.
And you had to get SpaghettiOs, and you're just like, man.
But you can make that without the can for fucking a fraction of the price. It's just fucking pasta.
I know, but...
Now, fucking Mike says, fuck all y'all for bashing my bland Midwest palate. Yeah, she was... You get that down. Old school Swedish palate.
One of my favorite episodes of Kitchen Nightmares was that... What was it called? Fleming's. It was a Danish restaurant.
Yeah.
It was in Miami. Yeah. It wasn't even in the Midwest.
No, Miami.
It was in Miami, and the
wrong
couple.
Place to put that shit.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank you, Janet. Yeah.
It was in Miami, and they had bought it from some really, really old fuckers.
Yeah.
And it was like Danish food, and everything was like flavorless.
Yeah. From a long time
and
ago.
Stodgy, and their whole clientele was like 80-year-olds.
Yeah. And it's funny because
in Miami.
Yeah.
And their chef was Cuban.
Right. And he's like, I don't know what any of this is.
He's like, I don't know what it is. I'm just making what they tell me. I don't really want to make this stuff.
So they had him
whatever,
make Cuban food, and all of a sudden, bam, places.
And it was
fucking
fantastic.
Hit. Yeah.
It's Miami. Make you some fucking spicy ass Cuban food.
Yeah.
Duh.
I'm trying to find some fucking newer Franco-American. They got all kinds of shit from the Franco-American.
I didn't even know they were still around.
They're around, or they were around fucking 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Let me see.
Louis says, I've had coworkers swear they love Mexican food, and I would get them real Mexican food, and they wouldn't like it. They were used to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Taco Bell is fine, but Taco Bell is not Mexican food.
No. I guess Franco-American no longer exists.
See, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, Taco Bell is fine for what it is. And Taco Bell, I'm going to give them props. They know their target audience. Their target audience is stoners.
Yeah.
So they cater to that, and they're very good at it. If I'm going to get tacos, I want you to make them.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to get them from a food truck or somewhere like... I'm not getting them from Taco Bell.
No, Franco-American's still around.
Is it?
Yeah.
What are they doing nowadays?
Spaghetti.
Oh, okay.
Spaghetti in a can.
What is it? What is it like?
It doesn't look that good to me.
It doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious. Man, they still have the old logo? That's it? That's their can?
That's what they're showing them. I don't understand it.
Oh my god.
I don't understand it. But
my graphic design bones are just going like, ugh.
Think about it though. Who would eat spaghetti out of a damn can? I mean, you would probably be desperate.
I mean, the Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs in the can is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had Franco-American spaghetti from the can.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, maybe. We ate SpaghettiOs out of that, but it's not good though.
Okay, for you foreigners, that's what the new Chef Boyardee fucking looks like. It's good, actually. But they have a bunch of...
it's totally, not bad. That's totally edible.
And then they have lasagna and beefaroni and different versions of that.
I like the ravioli, actually.
Yeah.
If you're going to get ravioli,
Get ravioli, yeah.
Get the super stuffed ravioli.
Franco-American made SpaghettiOs, not fucking...
That's what I said.
Chef Boyardee, yeah. SpaghettiOs sucked.
They were so gross.
They sucked.
I mean, like I said, the sauce was like water.
Yeah. Bad.
It was like tomato water.
Was back then.
Even in the 70s, we knew that was like not. Yeah. That was like the fucking ghetto shit.
Yeah.
Was the Franco-American SpaghettiOs.
And there's the old school Franco-American fucking picture.
Franco-American Food Company. Ooh, look. Look at those fucking kids. Look how weird that fucking kid looks.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
From another time.
He's like, yes, that's very interesting. extreme close up. I'm trying to, like, every time he does that, like, the lighting, like, readjusts itself. And it makes it, like, really weird lighting.
Franco-American also has turkey and gravy. Look, turkey and gravy with the fucking...
in a can?
In a can with the fucking...
Bitch, no.
With the fucking, what you call it?
With what?
With stuffing. Stuffing, turkey and gravy in a can.
I don't know how I feel about that.
That's like an MRE, man. That's like a fucking... That's like... Yeah, open that bitch up. And they also had coffee.
What, that...
Franco-American coffee.
In a can?
In a can.
Yeah, but that's, like, old, though, right?
Yeah, old.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Franco-American macaroni and cheese sauce.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It's like Kraft macaroni and cheese box. That 70s looking shit.
Yeah.
Franco-American mushroom gravy. It says sauce au champignon.
Ooh,
mushroom
it's
gravy
French,
sauce.
you guys. It's fancy.
Yeah. All French.
French.
Being
bread.
French. Yeah.
Did you guys see Better Off Dead?
Look,
Please tell me I'm
Campbell's
not, like...
au jus gravy.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Gotta get some au jus on that shit.
Oh.
Fucking dunking the sandwich in it.
So fancy.
Yeah.
Tila says canned mac and cheese. I know that's got to be nasty.
Yeah.
Oh,
It wasn't
sure.
a can, it was a box. It was a box.
Does that make it better? Probably not.
Well, just like Kraft.
Victor says Franco-American is a conglomerate now. They make SpaghettiOs and semiconductors.
Semiconductors?
Because those two things go together.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Well, SpaghettiOs might be a selling thing. People recognize what a SpaghettiO is, so they just
Do
fucking
people,
sell
so
it.
who would buy SpaghettiOs?
I don't know.
I mean, I kind of
It's
feel
all
like
carbs.
you would buy SpaghettiOs if you were really broke.
No, if you're trying to survive.
That's what I'm saying. I kind of feel like it's going to be like people that are like, look, I just need some fucking food, and this is $1.
They're selling that shit probably like roadside fucking convenience stores.
That's, yeah.
That's where it's going.
Which is sad because it's kind of like, man,
It might add up, though, every year.
I guess. Thank you, Cheryl. Can't afford much, but always watch your show. Happy holidays. Aw, happy holidays to you, too. Thank you so much. That's
Thank you,
really
babe.
nice of you. Yeah, SpaghettiOs is a good survival food. I mean, you eat them if you had to. We ate them if we had to. When I was little, even back then, in the 70s, you knew that Chef Boyardee was superior.
The thing is, though, is that...
Franco-American SpaghettiOs, that was like some shit that, well, it was on sale, and they were like 50 cents a can.
The thing about eating something like SpaghettiOs is that it's all carbs. There's not a lot of protein there. It'd be cheaper. I mean, yeah, it is pre-made. You can eat it right out of a can.
Yeah, you don't have to heat it up.
You don't have to
Although
heat it up.
you should, but
That's probably
you don't have to.
It'd be a lot cheaper to just get some Kraft macaroni and cheese, even though that's not, you have to boil it. But Kraft macaroni and cheese would be equally nutritious, probably, because there's not much in those cans. Tomato sauce doesn't mean shit. There's probably more protein in that fucking cheese powder than there is in that
Probably.
sauce. So there's not much in either one of those, and you can get Kraft macaroni and cheese for like less than $1 a box. I've seen it for what, 75 cents, 50 cents? Especially the store brand. I think it's like 50 cents.
Yeah. And Victor says making spaghetti is easier than making SpaghettiOs. To be honest, you can buy boxes of pasta for very, very cheap. What I used to do when I lived alone and didn't have a lot of money, I would just buy boxes of pasta and cook that and then mix in like a frozen bag of vegetables that I got for $1 or something.
Some bacon bits.
No, I would just put like some spices and shit in it.
Yeah.
It's good. Like, I don't need bacon bits in everything. I know how you do. Bacon bits give me heartburn. You know what I mean? So I don't put bacon bits in everything.
The
But-
most nutritious thing that ever comes out of a can is a can of Spam.
I know you love Spam.
You can live off of Spam. Now, above Spam would probably be corned beef hash. You got some potatoes in there and a bunch of fucking meat. Things like corned beef hash, people lived in the 1800s. People lived off of that. Think of that. They didn't have much. I mean, a working class person would probably be very happy to have a can of corned beef hash.
That was something that I couldn't get into it, but my grandma and my dad ate that a lot.
Yeah.
Victor said, that sounds good. It's like veggie lo mein. Yeah, that's kind of, I was into that. I don't need meat in everything. I just like veggies and pasta and stuff like that. Tila says, I grew up with my mom putting cut up hot dogs in spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandma did that.
Yeah.
My grandma did that.
Another thing your mom used to do back in the day is you take like a fucking hot dog and you heat it up in the microwave, put it on a fucking tortilla, put some like that fucking Velveeta cheese slice and heat that up and then roll it up and give it to you. You're like a little kid.
Yep.
And you're eating the damn rolled up tortilla with a cheese and a hot dog in it. But you're a little kid.
My grandma, one thing she would do, she would take hot dogs.
Yeah.
She would cut them down the middle, and she would put hunks of American cheese in there.
Yeah.
Wrap bacon around them, and then put them in the oven and bake them.
Yeah.
And then that's what you would eat for dinner, with a bacony, cheesy hot dog.
Yeah.
That was a dinner.
Yeah. They weren't eating that, but kids were eating it.
My grandma, my parents ate it too. Sure.
They were eating it too.
Yep. That was what she made.
Kind of for a while, they were giving me things that I wanted, which was like kid food, Giving me a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I ate a peanut butter jelly sandwich one time. My mom was amazed that I was still. You still eating that? And I was like, yeah, I fucking love peanut butter. She's like,
peanut butter jelly is good.
I used to give those to you when you were a little boy. Fucking, that's kid food. And I was just, I fucking love these things. Had a bitch all toasted up with bread and shit. Toasted bread with fucking butter.
It's good.
Hot, yeah, I know. Me and Elvis back there fucking eating fool's gold and shit. Like, fuck you, mom. Fuck you, mom. We growing up, we like the
Why mom's gotta be that way?
Sandwich. Yeah.
They're always like fucking judging.
Just on the food.
My mom's not like that. My mom's awesome.
Yeah.
But she doesn't judge me.
Yeah. Being judgmental.
My mom's just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, she had me when she was very young.
Yeah.
So she was just kind of like, whatever. She's just interested
Need for me too.
in how we all turned out.
No need for me too. Says hot dogs became pigs in a blanket with biscuits. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma made that too. That was good too. But one thing that my grandma would do, she did this a lot. She would take hot dogs and she cut them, long ways.
Yeah.
Put cheese in there and then wrap bacon.
Yeah.
And then she put them all in a big casserole dish.
Yeah.
And she would bake them.
Speaking of casserole, Tina was talking about tuna fish casserole. Yeah, that's another one that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Say like bow tie pasta with tuna, some kind of a creamy base with a bunch of peas and carrots in it and stuff, and bake it with a breadcrumb and butter fucking mix on the top of it so you have like a crust. You can do real well with that. See, the secret to cooking, or the reason why cooks are cooks, and what makes a good cook a cook, is that you take ingredients that are not special, they're inexpensive, and you try to make something real special out of it. It's easy to take an expensive component and fucking make something good.
Well, yeah, because it's already good because it's expensive.
You're just letting that fucking component speak for itself. You're not supposed to step on that component. You're supposed to go, here's your mahi.
Here it is, yeah.
Here's your mahi. So that component is speaking for itself. The secret is to take something that nobody else wants and to turn it into something. Like ham hock. Ham hocks. You wouldn't eat a ham hock. But if you fucking cook a ham hock right, cut it up in a bunch of pieces and put it into red beans and make red beans and rice with it, that's what you're doing. You're taking something that's not really worth much. You're making something fantastic out of it. Like Tila's talking about spaghetti and fucking hot dogs. Okay. All you got is spaghetti with spaghetti sauce. You got a pack of hot dogs. How are you going to make that bitch taste good?
Yeah, elevate that shit.
Yeah, elevate that. Okay, well, let's fucking slice those hot dogs real thin. Get a fucking oil really fucking hot and throw them in there and put a sear on them so they're nice and crispy and put them to the side. And then you're going to fucking go ahead and make your fucking pasta and your sauce and get that shit spiced right. And you're going to sprinkle them fucking fucking sliced fucking hot dog slices over the top of that. Crispy hot dog slices over the top of that thing. Over the top of that spaghetti. And make some fucking wild ass, ghetto ass fucking hot dog and spaghetti. You can do it, right? Especially maybe you might want to bread that hot dog. Bread and season those hot dogs slightly. To fucking give an Italian fucking flavor on them. You know, Italian seasoning or maybe a little bit of fucking one of them damn seeds. Not fennel seeds. Fucking
Caraway?
caraway seeds. Some caraway in there to make it taste a little bit more like sausage. You do all kinds of shit if you have the components. That's the key. It's not taking an expensive fucking component.
That's
they
what I mean.
already taste good.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Or it's easy.
That's easy.
Right.
I kind of feel like to me, it's more indicative of a good chef that can take cheap ass shit
Yeah, make it decent.
and make it taste
Make it
like
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's harder.
You're elevating.
Yeah, because of something that already tastes good on its own.
Yeah. And if y'all don't believe me, look at the fucking chicken wing. When I was a boy, a chicken wing wasn't worth anything. That was fucking worthless. Somebody down in Buffalo, New York figured out that if you did a chicken wing the right way and you tossed it in fucking a mixture of fucking melted butter and Tabasco sauce or fried chicken wing, you could call it a buffalo chicken wing and dip it into some fucking blue cheese
And look
dressing.
where we are nowadays.
Bam! You go to the store and
That's a whole thing.
go to the store and try to buy a fucking bag of chicken wings, they want to rob you. Like you're buying oysters. That's a fucking chicken wing, man. Back in the day, a chicken wing wasn't worth anything. You know. Nowadays, if you want something fucking that doesn't cost anything and it's meat, it'd be like a turkey neck. Just ask my dad. Fucking,
He's full of them.
he's full of 'em. Fucking, if you could get turkey
Aw.
necks for nothing, then fucking that's what you wanted to do. And if some of those Piggly Wigglies and shit, you can find a whole pack of fucking turkey necks for only a couple bucks. And if you know how to cook them, you can turn them into something.
Well, see, this is why I'm into, like, Gordon Ramsay shit.
Yeah.
Because he will take,
Oxtail.
or like Nutria.
Yeah, Nutria.
He did that whole shit where he was in New Orleans.
New Orleans swamp rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to make some shit out of that. I'm going to make some stew out of that.
She calls it Nutria. It's that we actually just called it Nutra. Nutra.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Nutra. Yeah, and it's not a rat. It looks like a rat, but it's not a rat. It's more like a beaver or a capybara, like that, but smaller.
That's kind of what I thought. It was
Like a
more like a
capybara?
capybara, I thought.
like a capybara, yeah. No,
But, well, see, that's why Gordon Ramsay, like, you know, I know a lot of people think he's a dick, but
no, he's not a dick.
he is, well, he's not snotty. He's like, man, I will take some local ingredients
Yeah.
and turn that shit into something like, which to me is, I mean, that's kind of like the hallmark of a great
Yeah.
chef. Take some like cheap ass ingredients and make that into something like fucking sublime.
Yeah.
That's where the artistry of it comes from.
Yeah. Now, Tila says they put shredded cheese on tuna casserole and crushed up Lay's potato chips on top of it. Yeah, that'd work too. Lay's potato chips. Or you could take those damn, what do you call them? Those fried onion rings, those Lay's fried onion rings that come in a can. Put that on there.
Oh, they
That'd be
sell
good.
those around Thanksgiving.
Right, yeah, they sell them all year round.
I mean, they mostly sell them like
That'd be
around
good on it.
Thanksgiving because everybody
People
puts
put
them
them
on
on.
top of the green
Yeah.
bean casserole.
Right, there's a big surge of it.
Yeah.
But that would be good on top of. I haven't had tuna casserole in a long time.
I haven't either.
That's a '60s dish.
It is.
It's a '60s dish.
It's good though.
I had to figure out how to elevate that. You know you want peas and carrots in it. You know you want a crust on top of it. You know you want a creamy sauce in the middle of it. It's just something I had to figure out. That creamy sauce, you might be able to just do like you did on those green beans and just use some kind of Campbell's soup creamy mix, like either the fucking maybe like some people will say, well, with the cream of mushroom. Well, what if you were to use fucking clam chowder? See? Clam chowder and tuna as your fucking base.
I'm intrigued.
Sound good? Clam chowder. That's probably would be because you have that creamy, rich seafood base with some clams in it, and you put your fucking tuna in there to make your base, and then you put your peas and your carrots in there. And man, fuck this shit. We're doing a show. I can't sit here and invent these meals.
Well, that's kind
Tina,
of
what do you think? What do you think clam
that's the whole point
chowder
of the
is?
show.
I think clam chowder would be good. Cream, the New England style clam chowder, not Manhattan.
And honestly,
Cream.
I like both kinds of clam chowder.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Right.
I'll eat any kind of clam chowder. I don't give a shit what kind it is. I like both kinds.
Victor says chicken wings are too expensive. Considered they grow back on a chicken like lizards with their tails. They do not. Never any chicken wings. No, they do not. No, they don't.
I'm just going to grow my wings back.
No, they do not. No, they do not.
He's joking. It's fine.
I just think they're funny how those used to be worth nothing. And that's where fucking buffalo chicken wings came from.
Well, that's where...
They were just worth nothing.
Because somebody figured out
Yeah.
a way to make them delicious.
And make them into something.
Well, as I said, this is kind of the same thing that happened with lobster.
Yeah.
I mean, at least in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Lobster was like garbage meat.
Yeah.
We have so much lobster. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason...
Victor said, Google it. No, I ain't Googling that shit, man. Fucking chicken's arms do not grow back, bro.
they don't go.
No. Tina said clam chowder would work too, Tom. So, yeah, I think it would be even better.
Honestly, one of these days...
Yeah.
We've been, like, thinking a long time. It's like, we need to make, like, some homemade clam chowder.
Yeah.
Or some seafood.
I can make it. I used to make seafood chowder. If you don't have clams, you can use just whitefish.
I'll eat that.
It's the same thing. It's just
I'll eat that all day long.
It's just fish. Yeah, it's good. Seafood chowder.
Seafood is, like, my favorite thing. I will eat pretty much anything out of the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, within reason. Within reason. But... all that stuff out of the... it's so good.
Hugo's laughing at me for some reason. I don't know what he's talking about. Tina's saying a seafood boil sounds good too. Yeah, we haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah, it's been like... It's been a while
Crab's
since
been
we've done
expensive lately. Couple
We
years
did one, what, like a year ago?
more than that.
Year and a half?
More
Something like
two. It
that.
was before the pandemic.
Okay, so
And
maybe it was 2 years ago.
we went down to Winn-Dixie and fucking scored on a shit ton of fucking crab legs.
They had crab legs
And then,
on sale.
then the woman working there, the girl working there, I guess she was kind of gothic or something. She gave us a bunch of extra. She said, "Look, I got a bunch of other ones.
She's
I'm
like,
gonna
"Yeah,
have to
just
throw
take
these out here. Just take this."
And I was like, okay.
And we're like, yeah, man.
Free shit, I'm
like,
all
okay.
about it. I'm all
Had
about it.
fucking big old fucking bags of fucking. And then we sat there and ate all them damn cream crab, those crab legs, man. Fucking, they were nice, real good. Haven't had it in a while.
We had, like, in the bedroom, we had, like, the coffee table. We put newspaper and paper bags
Yeah, we're sitting there with
over the fucking
half crabs.
potatoes,
Corn
crab
cobs.
legs, shrimps,
Yeah, it was good.
corn cobs. Man, that was good.
We had big old bowls of melted butter.
Yeah. Man, that was delicious.
Yeah.
Like I said, seafood shit, man, I will eat that shit all day long. All day long.
So we've been talking about food forever. Everybody's dropping off. I think about 30-something people in there now. And then everybody's talking about food.
Yeah. Well, that's
So we're
what
just going to have food shows, I guess.
Sure. Victor says, I'm not sure if I like seafood or if I just like tartar sauce.
Yeah.
I mean, tartar sauce is good. Cocktail sauce is good.
Yeah. Easy to make.
And like I said, ever since I was a kid, I'm a seafood person.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I will eat fish. If you give me a choice of all the meats, always going to be fish. Or something that comes out of the ocean. That's
Fish is
the first thing
good.
I'm going to pick.
It's just expensive. That's the only reason why we're not eating it all the time.
I know. If I could, I would. I would eat shrimp all the time. I would eat fucking fish all the time.
We got this southern fucking...
Delicious.
We got this chain of southern fried seafood. It's a place called Captain D's. And it's good. You get fried green tomatoes and everything. And only black women work in there. They're cooking that shit. So fucking, they're taking that shit seriously. That's a fucking good restaurant. And it's just like, it's like the old South. Fucking, you can go down in there for about $20, maybe $25 a person. You can get fried fish, like fish and chips, shrimp, stuffed crabs, fried clams,
They got fried green tomatoes also.
fried green tomatoes, biscuits and shit, sweet tea. What else did they have? Corn.
Yeah.
Man, that place is so good. And like the tartar sauce and the cocktail sauce, you just get it out of the damn machine, squirting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you go in there and fucking it's just there, people in their Sunday best, old black dudes in their fucking Sunday suits and shit, fucking, and just like they're getting ready to play blues music or something. It's fucking funny, you know, in a certain way. It is kind of a, when you look at it, to the average person, it would look like a fast food restaurant, but it isn't. They're run kind of like a mom and pa type restaurant. Each one of them is a little bit different. It's nothing like fucking Long John Silver's. It's nothing like that. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a fucking Howard's. Remember Howard's?
I don't, but
Yeah, that was some Mississippi shit there.
Yeah.
That's where you go get like a hamburger with chili on it and stuff. It's like that, kind of. They're good. They're good, though.
seafood.
But they have crab, don't they? Stuffed crab. That's all I see. I don't think they have crab legs, do they?
No.
No, just
I
stuffed
don't
crab.
think so.
Stuffed crab and blue crabs. I think you can get gumbo there.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
all the southern shit.
All the southern stuff.
And all the, southern shit, like
Yeah.
fucking Louisiana shit, you can get all that shit there. Although I kind of feel like it's not real widespread, that chain. It's a chain,
Yeah.
but it's not real widespread.
It's not everywhere. Captain D's. It's
Yeah.
worth it. It's good. It's kind of a real comfortable, casual dining experience. It's not cheap, but you're getting more for your money. If you go to a place like Red Lobster, you're going to get more of a fucking corporate, kind of a little bit more of an elevated type dining experience. But to me, it's corporate. Captain D's feels very southern. It feels very 70s or 80s. Instead of charging you for fucking decor and fucking fancy booths and shit, you're just paying for the food. And it's always been cooked real well. Those people fucking care about that food when they cook it. And it does. It's very southern.
Tila says I love a good fish and chips too.
Yeah, they have that
me
Captain
too.
D's. They can
Honestly,
do that.
when I was in the UK, my favorite thing, fish and chips, and every single
Yeah.
corner had a decent fish and chips place.
Yeah.
That also had Indian food
Yeah,
usually.
If you're talking about British fish and chips, you want tartar sauce, you want fries, of course, but you also want that damn malt vinegar.
Yeah, they didn't have
Yeah.
tartar sauce
They didn't
in the
have
UK.
tartar sauce?
Malt
Just-
vinegar,
Just the vinegar.
which I'm not a huge fan of. Gotta say.
You British people don't understand the beauty of tartar.
Tartar
And malt
sauce.
vinegar together is fucking really good. It's good on I like tartar sauce just on the damn French fries. It's just good.
Yeah, that is
It
good.
works real well. A lot of extra calories though, because you end up eating a lot of damn tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce I like on certain things, on certain kind of fish.
If you people don't know what it is, it's a white sauce based in mayonnaise. It might have probably half sour cream and half mayonnaise with dill and dill pickle cubes in it. Usually some onion. It's just fucking good, man. I mean, just any kind of fish or potatoes dunked in that is just great. And like I said, high in calories, high in fat. I mean, Americans die early because of all these fucking delicious sauces that we got from fucking French people and fucking British people and shit over the years.
Although French people don't die of that shit. It must be
They
just
drink all
us.
that goddamn wine.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe we should drink more wine.
Right. And black people didn't help with all that deep frying and coming up with all this fucking new shit.
Man, everything
'Cause
it
black
makes
people were
everything
fucking-
taste good,
Yeah,
so
black
good.
people fucking spin that shit around in the South and you go, oh.
They're like, look, we're taking some shit that wasn't even that good,
Yeah, we're going to make it much
and
better.
ta-da, it's delicious. And you're just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's good.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
They're trying to get revenge on us.
Maybe that's what it is.
Die of a heart attack, you bitch.
Deservedly.
But
Deservedly.
no, they die of the shit too, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a double-edged sword.
It's just it's just the flavor. Fucking black people know what tastes good. They're gonna fucking come up with some shit. Fucking, we're gonna go, yeah, okay.
Gotta say that. Well, okay. So we're talking about fish and chips in the UK. It's weird because I lived over there for a while, and it's just I ate fish and chips all the time, but I didn't get fat. I'm not really sure. I lost weight while I was over there. I don't know if it was because I was walking everywhere or I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. People don't get fat over there the way... Well, it might be different nowadays, but when I was living there in the mid to late 90s...
It's the walking, probably.
I mean...
When I was in Boston, I'd walk fucking 7 to 8 miles a day just going to the train.
Well, I didn't have a car, so I was just kind of I'm going to go to the train, and it's and I'm walking around the town or whatever, and it's just I wasn't even thinking about it.
Right. Outside of a city in the United States, you're going to drive everywhere. You just can't walk anywhere. Everything's far away. Everything's far away.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's that's one kind of shitty thing.
Well, there's nothing 2 miles from you. Everything is fucking 6 miles from you.
Yeah, you have to drive. You have to drive.
Yeah, the club.
Well,
is 20
and
miles
Florida
right.
is one of the worst places for that. You can't walk. This neighborhood does not even have sidewalks.
No.
Our old neighborhood did.
There's nowhere to walk to. You're in the country.
And yeah, the only place I can walk to is Dollar General.
Yeah. There's nothing over there, really.
I can walk to Dollar General.
Get some iced tea.
That's about it. Yeah. There's nothing else to walk to.
Right, yeah.
Nothing. There are horse farms, and that's it. So...
Yeah. I think it's funny because you have European people. Well, why don't you have... It's funny, I'd run into European people. So, well, you need to have public transportation. Public transportation? What are you talking about?
Well, the distances are much farther.
The distances are fucking too fucking vast.
Which I wish we did, honestly, because if we had that, I would do it because I don't like to drive. But...
The distances are too long.
The distances are much farther.
Right.
And it's a much bigger undertaking.
It's a huge country.
I mean, where we live, it's not in the middle of nowhere.
Everything is spread out.
But it's very, very spread out.
Everything is spread out.
Where we live, the closest thing, I can walk to a Dollar General. It's about a mile from here. Maybe? Or a half mile.
Oh, no, half mile.
It's a half mile.
Right. Circle K is about a mile and a half.
Circle K is about a mile and a half from here. I could walk to that if I had to.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's no sidewalk. You'd be walking across the grass.
Yeah, there's no sidewalk.
Yeah.
No sidewalk.
You walk across the grass the whole time.
So yeah, it's all road.
Lawns.
Yeah, or across people's yards.
Yeah.
So you know.
People don't walk anywhere. They might ride a bicycle.
Well, back in the day, before I had a car, I grew up in Daytona, and I used to walk everywhere, and people used to look at me like I was a fucking freakazoid for walking places. Well, I had to walk places. I didn't have a car.
Yeah.
So I had to walk. But nobody walked.
Most people don't have cars. They want to travel. If they don't have a car or whatever, they just ride a bicycle. You'll see bicycles. Bicycles and motorcycles. A lot of motor scooters. You can get a motor scooter. You can get a motor scooter for under $1,000. You can get a $500 motor scooter and ride it on the road, or not ride it on the road. The cops don't really care whether or not that motorcycle that thing is legal or not. So
Cheryl says, "I don't drive. I walk everywhere." Honestly, I kind of wish.
Depends on where you live.
I wish I didn't have to drive.
Yeah.
But where we live now, you have to drive because there is nothing within walking distance.
Right.
I wish I could walk everywhere.
Tina was saying she wished there was bullet trains in the United States. You're in San Francisco, though. The situation in the rest of the country just doesn't suit a bullet train. A bullet train is fucking high-speed rail from one fucking city to a next where there's a lot of transit and a lot of commuting. The age of commuting is kind of gone. People don't drive to work like they used to, especially since the pandemic. And nobody... Just because you get downtown, that doesn't mean that you're close to where you work. Fucking everything is fucking spread out. It's just...
Well, like I said, Florida has especially been for that.
Doesn't really work.
Everything is spread out. If you live in Florida, you have to have a car.
You have to have a car.
I grew up in Florida, and I didn't have a car for a long time, and it was a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Public transportation is there, but it's very, very minimal.
Yeah, we have trains and buses and all kinds of stuff. Wouldn't even scratch the surface.
It doesn't get... I mean, honestly,
where you need to go.
what I did when I grew up in Daytona, what I had to do, I had a job. I didn't have a car. I had to take a bus to one point, and then I had to get off the bus and then walk a mile to my job. Yeah. Because the bus didn't stop there.
Yeah. And if you set up a system where buses and trains stopped everywhere, it would immediately start running into the red. Because you wouldn't have enough people on the damn things to fucking make it economically viable. Because there's just all this fucking shit out in the middle of nowhere everywhere. And you're not going to concentrate them. You can't concentrate Americans. They do not like to live.
I mean, it's a massive place.
It's a massive place, and most people are not born and raised in high density population zones. They're raised in very low density populations, and that's how they like it. You move them into a more urban or even suburban environment, and they're like, oh man, too many people, and they'll move back out in the country. The fucking people don't realize how many motherfucking Americans live in the country. And they're going to drive or ride bicycles or ride motorcycles. And they don't care about your city. They just don't.
Well, Americans are used to driving a lot farther for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
I don't like to drive, so it's not really my thing. But
take them cars away, they'll just buy horses. And fucking horses are actually probably more damaging to the environment. They eat everything. They shit everywhere. They fucking... When England and when London was horse powered, they had a very hard time getting rid of all the damn horse shit. There's no easy solutions to anything, and there are no solutions. Things just go the way they are. People don't need to worry about it. Civilizations don't last long anyway. For all we know, we'll be back in a medieval era within 100 years anyway.
Probably not, but okay.
It's possible. It wouldn't be, the technology I don't think technology will ever go backwards.
Yeah, so that's not going to be the same.
So it wouldn't quite be the same as medieval.
No.
It's just that it won't be centralized. It'll be very, and it wouldn't surprise me. Most people are, most intelligent kind of estimations say that the populations will start declining soon. That everything is starting to decline. You just don't really, it's not the Industrial Revolution. You don't need large populations anymore, because it's not a population-based economy anymore. We'll just have to see how it goes. I don't care. It's beyond my expiration date. I'd be dead by then.
DJ Maniac says, I've never owned a car. I'm in the suburbs of New York, Long Island.
Yeah.
Everyone here has a car, but I can get around on a bike.
Yeah.
Or take a train or Uber anywhere else I need to. I don't use the buses, though.
Yeah, when I was living in...
Honestly, I would kind of like that situation because I don't like to drive. I can drive, but I don't really like to.
When I was in Boston for several years, there was absolutely no need for a car until I became a salesman. And I wasn't living in Boston or wasn't selling in Boston. More out Wellesley, Weston, Dover area, which is kind of higher end suburbs. Now, if you live in fucking a city like that, you just don't need a car. It'd be a pain in the ass. Why would you spend money on something like that?
Honestly, I would like to be somewhere where I didn't need to drive anywhere. I would really like to be able to walk to most shit I needed.
Yeah.
Or take a bicycle to it.
Well, you kind of like that now in some ways. We're not a big difference.
I can't walk anywhere.
There's no reason to go anywhere.
I can walk to Dollar General. That's about it.
Well, and then fucking you got the grocery store 1.5 miles away, but you can just get in the car and fucking be there in 2 minutes and then come right back. And really, it's only like once a week to buy groceries. So it's close to that. You're actually on transportation spending less now than you would be spending on it in Boston because you have to pay to park it. And your tags cost a lot less. And then things mostly sits. But you do need it.
Yeah, I mean...
groceries.
Yeah.
And it goes somewhere. So it ends up working out. But in Boston, especially towards the city, Boston, Somerville, having a car you didn't really need it unless you had to leave the city.
Well, I kind of feel like in a big city, you probably don't need one.
You don't really need it, Bill.
Because you can walk or take
Well, they had subways.
or subway or whatever. Like I said, if I lived in New York City, I would absolutely not have a car.
No, you wouldn't be able to park it anywhere.
And why bother?
It'd be like flushing money down the toilet.
Yeah. You can walk to whatever you wanted to walk to,
But
or take a subway.
People that live in those areas have no concept of what life is outside.
And if you wanted to drive to another city, like to visit family, you could just rent a car.
Right.
So why would you pay to have one?
But in my experience, people that come from those cities, because I've lived there, have no concept of what it's like to live outside of those cities if they've never lived outside there, and a lot of them haven't. So they try to project their needs and their situations on people outside. Nah, there's no public transportation, and the world is a lot bigger than those areas. Fucking 30 miles in Boston is a long way. 30 miles here is nothing. You can get there quickly, I can get 30 miles away within 20 minutes. To get 30 miles away in downtown Boston, that might take 45 minutes.
Well, I
maybe
mean,
an hour, depending on traffic.
We go downtown clubbing.
Yeah.
Downtown Sanford or downtown Orlando. Downtown Sanford, about 12, 15 miles. Downtown Orlando, about 20, 25 miles.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
No. Downtown Sanford, we can get there within a half hour. Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not a big fan of driving. I always make him drive.
Yeah, I drive. She doesn't drive, so.
I mean, I'll drive if I have to.
Right.
I drove to, Ocala to see my mom a couple weekends ago. So I will drive, but I would, prefer not to. I'd prefer not to. I wish everything was, right there. But, that's not how shit goes. Especially not in Florida. Where am I? Where did Pookie go?
Oh, she's running around.
Did she leave? She got bored of us?
Yeah.
Poor baby. She got bored of us. Straw Dog 78. That's one thing that I got taken aback by moving from Cali to Florida, car insurance. Yeah, I don't know. Well, is it more expensive? Yeah. If you don't need it. Honestly, I barely drive my car. But obviously, I still have to pay insurance on it.
Yeah.
I have it at the minimal, but it's still $85 a month, which, that's expensive. But you have to have it in case. Honestly, a long time ago, we did talk about getting rid of the car.
We were
and
thinking
just
about fucking renting one.
And just whenever we needed one, just renting it, which might have been cheaper in the long run.
The problem,
and I'm not sure that that's not still the case.
It might be, but the problem is that whenever I wanted to rent one, the motherfuckers didn't have one in stock to rent.
That's true.
That's what turned me off to that. Better to just have that bitch sitting there. Because whenever I need to go anywhere, I can just jump in it and leave. I don't have to arrange it with some other company. I have motorcycles and stuff, but, What time is it, Jenny?
8:51.
Okay, it's almost 9. Boy, you drank the shit out of that shit.
Yeah, well.
I don't know about you, but I'm getting ready to fucking shut this down. I'm getting sleepy. You want something to eat?
Yeah.
All right, what do you want to eat?
I don't know. What do we got?
I'll make something to eat.
What do we got?
Got all kinds of stuff.
Well, what is it? Tempt me. Come on.
I got spaghetti sauce made.
Okay, that's...
And I have ziti already made.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm intrigued.
I could put some kind of protein in there.
I'm intrigued.
Maybe...
Or veggies, or...
I could do that, yeah.
Mushrooms? Do we have any mushrooms?
I got mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
But I think I'd probably want some kind of protein. Maybe I got some hamburger patties I could probably cook and then dice up and put that in there. Because that's faster than... See, I have those big old rolls of hamburger, but that takes a long time to thaw.
Yeah, let's not worry about that.
You know what I mean?
Let's not
But I have some Angus beef hamburger patties I could cook and then break apart and put into the sauce.
Well,
Put that into
do
a
what you
bowl.
got to do, but honestly,
I have ramen.
okay, now that's
I have ramen. And
Again.
I have a bunch of eggs.
okay.
You still, yeah? You
Yeah.
want ramen and egg? Or would you rather have spaghetti or would you rather have ramen?
All right, so you can put mushrooms in the ramen, right?
Yep.
And hard-boiled eggs.
Yep.
I kind of feel like that sounds better.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
Because we got
I have-
mushrooms. We got mushrooms. We got to use up. Yeah.
I got Oriental frozen vegetables
Oh, now
with fucking.
you gonna put that in there
I can
too?
put that in there. It's
Okay.
got fucking all the. It's got. We call them broccoli,
Yeah.
red and yellow peppers, and it's got fucking water chestnuts.
Yeah. See,
And it's
veggies,
got-
mushrooms.
Yeah, with
I'm
little
down.
baby
And
corn,
eggs.
baby
I'm into
corn
it.
and
I'm
eggs.
down. I'm down.
Okay.
I don't need meat. Just
Do you
put all
want any
that.
kind of cream base in it, or you just want?
Fuck no, no. Just
You want
don't do
shrimp base, or you want chicken?
that. Shrimp.
Okay, because I got the shrimp. Okay, we can do that. I think I have a Korean one left for myself. If not, I'll
That's hot though, right?
Yeah, if that's for me though.
Well, yeah.
If not, I'll just take a fucking another shrimp and like you have.
Yeah.
Okay. We
I
can do
mean, that sounds good actually.
that. Okay, we can do it.
All right.
Look at her, Tila. Look, she's drunk.
Well,
Yeah.
So
you
are
want
you.
another drink?
or
We're gonna go in the other room and watch movies. You want another drink? Or you want us to split mine?
pour some of yours and mine if
Mine's
you wish.
tequila though.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I
I'll make
forgot.
you another drink. Go ahead and shut it down, people.
I
Go ahead
forgot.
and shut it down, Jay.
He's got tequila.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit.
I get it.
All right. So we did a good thing.
Yeah, we did a good thing.
Almost 4 hours.
Yeah. That's a
This
long
one was
show.
3.5 hours, and like the first one that
Yeah.
stopped working for whatever reason was half an hour. So
Yeah, I
you
don't know
know,
what that was all about.
it happens. I get frustrated.
Yeah.
He tells me like I turned it off. I'm like, bitch, I've been like, well, because I've been dealing with this other computer, and I was just kind of like, I was trying to figure out, because this other computer that I have is just kind of like, it's a PC, and that's my editing computer, and I don't know what the fuck is the matter with it, but it's really, really slow. And I downloaded this program, and it told me, hey, this program that you have is like malware. So I got rid of that, and I think I fixed it. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I get very, very frustrated when shit doesn't like work to my specifications. I'm just saying. Go watch Gremlins, Jenny. You know, honestly, today I've been doing like all winter horror movies. Well, mostly. I've been doing all winter horror movies this month because I'm reviewing them. So today I watched Frozen from 2010. It's the one with the 3 people trapped on the ski lift. Did you guys see that one? Okay, so that one was really good. I watched that while I was wrapping Christmas presents. So I'll put up a review of that, but it'll probably be after Christmas though, because I have a whole bunch of ones that are like in the pipeline. Mango says, it's been a great show. Thank you very much. You know. All right, so here we go. We're gonna like stop it for tonight. We're gonna have some ramen, maybe whatever the fuck he's making. I don't know what he's doing down there. I'm having one more drink. Hopefully you guys have a good weekend coming up. Everybody keep it safe out there. Keep doing what you're doing. We will see you guys on Sunday. We're either going to talk about Identity, which Rob sent us, or we're going to talk about Nightmare Alley, which I'm planning on going and seeing tomorrow. One of those two things. So we'll be back Sunday. Everybody have a good weekend up until then, and we will see you guys then. Thank you for super chats. Thank you for hanging out with us on this Friday night, and we will see you on Sunday afternoon. Bye.